Okay, let's do a home run call. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. That ball is way back. It's going, it's going, it's gone. But it was called foul. So it's not really a home run then. Well, it's YouTube Live. Yeah. So we're streaming versus radio. But they can still get us on YouTube Live on the iPhone. Oh, I gotta do it again? I just did one. Check, check. Another home run call. High fly ball, deep right field. Way back. Way back. It's gone. All right, I just lowered it. I just lowered it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to YOLO High Wheelers Baseball. This is Doug Greenwald coming to you live today. We're at Dobbins Stadium here in Davis, California, getting set for action. Final game of this 6-game series between the Oakland Ballers and the YOLO High Wheelers. So far, YOLO has won 3 out of the first 5. However, yesterday, a bit of a hiccup as Oakland ended up winning by a count of 9-6. So the Ballers come into this afternoon's action with a record of 16-13. Meanwhile, for the Yellow High Wheelers, they enter today at 14-12. So again, a 48-game first half. The High Wheelers, remember, still have 3 outstanding games because of the postponements regarding the light issues we had here about a month ago. So YOLO coming in at 14-12, and again, because you need to get the second place to be eligible for a playoff spot in each half, YOLO comes in at 3.5 games back in second. 3.5 games back of second place. Yolo's in sixth place, but 3.5 games back of second. Oakland is 3 back of second. So Missoula leads the league at 22-7. Glacier is at second place, 3 games back of Missoula. And then you have Boise, Northern Colorado, Oakland, and Yolo. The next 4 teams going for obviously still plenty of time to try and catch Glacier. And we mentioned that Yolo still with 3 games to make up. Of course, so does Rocky Mountain because they were the team where that was here when we were postponed. So that is how things stack up this afternoon on another very, very hot day for baseball here in the here in Yolo County. So again, final game of this homestand, and then tomorrow the Oakland or the Yolo High Wheelers will head to Idaho Falls. They'll have tomorrow night off there, and then start a 6-game series up in the Atlanta Potatoes, starting on Tuesday. Pitching matchup here this afternoon for the Oakland Ballers. It was the man that started here on Tuesday night. He gets another start. That's right-hander Aaron Eden who gets the baseball. His record is 2-2 with an ERA of 6 even. Meanwhile, for the Yolo High Wheelers, it will be the right-hander Ben Ferrer, the Atlanta area product. He gets the baseball today, and the record for Ferrer is at 2 wins and 1 loss with an ERA of 5.16. So Ben Ferrer on the mound today for Yolo. By the way, for Ferrer, this will be a second outing of this series. He pitched 1 inning out of the bullpen a few games ago. Ben, this will be his 10th appearance and his second as a starter. So as I said, another hot day for baseball here in Davis as these 2 teams get set to finish the 6-game set. We're going to go right to the starting lineups now. First for the visiting Oakland Ballers and manager Micah Franklin. Again, Oakland coming in at 16 and 13. Leading it off and playing center field is Austin Davis. Peyton Harden bats second, and he's in left field. The third place hitter is the shortstop, Miles Jefferson. Trevor Halsema is in right field, and he bats cleanup. Dondre Hubbard bats fifth. He's at third base. The first baseman is Noah Martinez, and he hits sixth. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, J.P. Gates. Tyler Lozano does the catching and hits eighth, and batting ninth and at second base, Brad Burkell. And again on the mound for the Oakland Ballers is the right-hander, Aaron Eden. So again for Oakland and manager Micah Franklin, it's Davis, Harden, and Jefferson, Halsema, Hubbard, and Martinez, Gates, Lozano, Burkell, and the righty Eden on the mound. By the way, for Eden, this will be his 7th appearance and his 4th as a starter. For the Yolo High Wheelers and manager Billy Horton, Yolo a record of 14 and 12. Braylon Skinner to lead it off in center field. Batting second, the designated hitter, Braylon Marine. Bobby Leday bats third, and he's at shortstop. Hitting cleanup and at first base, Jose Gonzalez. The third baseman, slotted fifth, Braden Blackford. Justin Kirby hits sixth, and he's in left field. Batting seventh, playing right field, Tanner Smith. The second baseman hits eighth, and he's Kirkland Banks. And batting ninth and doing the catching, Angel Mendoza, with the right-hander Ben Ferrer on the mound. Again for Yolo and manager Billy Horton, it's Skinner, Marine, and Leday, Gonzalez, Blackford, and Kirby, Smith, Banks, Mendoza, and the righty Ferrer on the mound. The starting lineups here this afternoon. So again, the Ballers will be out of town for a week, and then, the High Wheelers will be out of town for about a week, and then when the team gets back, the team will be back, and we're talking will really be back because we're going to be, until the very last couple of days in July, we will be in Northern California. Really all of July will either be here in Davis or the games will be in Oakland. So our next homestand, after the Ballers go to Idaho Falls, our next homestand, we're right back here against the Ballers on July 2nd. Now that will be 6 straight games against the Ballers, 3 here, July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then we go to Oakland July 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then we're right back here for we got a long homestand coming up really through much of July. We are home. I mean, I'll be real specific here. The Ballers pretty much you have something to do in July, it's going to be to watch baseball, Pioneer League baseball in Yolo County. It's going to be here because we'll have 9 games against Rocky Mountain. Remember, have 3 games to make up. And then Oakland will be back here for 6 more. So we got 15 games coming up. Let's see here. The Ballers are here July 16th through the 25th. So actually they'll be here for 9. Or we got about 18 games, folks, here in July. So we got a lot coming up. And then, of course, come August, they'll be out of town. All right, that's a while to wait for that. Now we're going to sit it down to the field for the national anthem. All right, the national anthem here this afternoon from Davis, California. Again, on this sun-filled afternoon. 95 degrees, by the way, here at what will soon to be the first pitch. Now, I think 95 is hot. It was 103 degrees yesterday at first pitch, and you think about 105 game. Who knows what time it'll be over? But let's say it extends till about 4 o'clock. That's when it's expected to be back around 100 plus here this afternoon. Real quick look at the Major League scoreboard. The Giants and Cardinals getting together in St. Louis. Cardinals a chance to sweep that series, which of course started in Birmingham on Thursday. Cardinals won yesterday. Cardinals winning right now 4-1. In the top half of the 8th inning, Cardinals scored 3 in the first and 1 in the second against the Rockland native and Logan Webb, who allowed 9 hits and 8 strikeouts over 6 innings today for the Giants. He's out of the game. Now 4 runs all earned. The Giant highlights Patrick Bailey, a solo homer, his 6th home run this year. Sonny Gray started for the Cardinals. Tremendous job today. Allowed just 1 hit over 7 innings, no walks, and struck out 8. So the Giants, who have not, now of course they had Friday off, but have not won since Monday at Wrigley, and in jeopardy of losing their 5th in a row on that trip. And they'll see the Cubs tomorrow night in San Francisco. But top of the 8th inning, Cardinals 4, Giants 1. Atlanta wins at the Yankees 3-1. Tampa Bay wins at Pittsburgh 3-1. Paul Skeens, the phenom for the Pirates, struck out 8 over 7 innings today. Did not get the win. Well, obviously didn't get the win, didn't get the loss, but Tampa Bay wins there 3-1. Philadelphia at home beats Arizona 4-1. Top of the 5th inning, Colorado a 1-0 lead at home over Washington. Bottom of the 6th in Texas, it's Texas 3, Kansas City 0. Top of the 7th in Houston, Astros 7, Baltimore 1. Top of the 9th in Miami, Marlins 6, Mariners 4. Top of the 8th in Detroit, Tigers 10, White Sox 2. Top of the 5th in Cleveland, Cleveland 6, Toronto 5. Bottom of the 7th in Cincinnati, Boston 7, Cincinnati 4. All right, here we go. We'll start this one. Ben Ferrer out of the set position. Kicks in the first pitch of the ball game to Austin Davis is outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes the count, and we are underway at 109 this afternoon. And again, 95 sun-filled degrees here from Davis. Want to know the count to Austin Davis as Ferrer deals a strike on the outside corner, 1-1 to the game's first batter. And Austin Davis at .339, 4 homers. He has 20 runs batted in. Outfield medium depth and straight away. And the pitch, and Davis takes, and that's strike two on the inside corner. 1-2 the count from Ben Ferrer, who grew up near Atlanta, grew up in Alpharetta, Georgia. Had a chance to catch up with Ben a little bit before the game today. As again, he works out of the set. And the kick on the 1-2 on the way, low and in ball 2-2-2. For Ferrer, who began the year as the long man in the bullpen. This is his second start, 10th appearance overall. So 2-2 the count. And he deals, and Davis swings, and a tapper foul up along third. 2-2. Ferrer, a four-seam fastball, a cutter, a curveball, and a changeup. He stands 5'11", 195 pounds, 24 years old, and Ferrer. So 2-2 the count, Austin Davis. And the pitch on the way, and Davis swings, grounds one foul toward his third base coach and manager Micah Franklin. 2-2. Coaching over at first base, former big league infielder with the likes of the Dodgers and Cardinals and a few others, Aaron Miles. So 2-2 the count to Austin Davis, who struck out to open the game yesterday. 2-2, and the pitch, and Davis swings and drives one deep down the left field side, and that's going to get down a base hit. Ball's going to go to the wall, played by the left fielder Kirby, and Davis with his green helmet flying off between first and second will go into second with a leadoff stand-up double. So a good start for the Ballers, who yesterday didn't have their first hit until that 5-run fourth inning. Waste a little time getting in the hit column here this afternoon. And now it's Peyton Harden who will come up at .339. No home runs, and he has 12 runs batted in. So right away a situational at bat for Harden. Chance here with a ground ball to perhaps move Davis along to third base. Possible bunt situation. The first baseman Gonzalez is in on the grass. Third baseman Blackford on the lip of the grass. And Ferrer delivers, and Harden takes, and that's low and in ball one. And the count's at 1-0. So I mentioned Ferrer, who has pitched in this series out of the bullpen and got the win. I got the win here on Thursday night. 1-0 pitch, and Harden takes low and in ball two, 2-0. Ferrer, right place, right time. He pitched the fifth inning. And then that was with the game tied, and then Yolo scored 4 runs in the bottom of the fifth. He was pitcher of record, and when he exited, pitcher of record on the plus side, and the High Wheelers never gave up the lead, so he got the win. The kick on the 2-0, and that runs inside ball 3. And the count moves now to 3-0. No score, top of the first inning. Yolo and Oakland. So I mentioned Ferrer began the year in the bullpen and moved into the rotation when J.C. Ariza was put on the IL. The kick on the 3-0, and Harden takes the knee, strike one, 3-1. So Ferrer slid into the rotation. Ariza was put on the IL because of a bicep issue. Ariza is now back off the IL, but he will go to the bullpen. Ferrer will stay in the rotation. 3-1. Davis leads at second. The kick on the 3-1, and that's low ball 4. So first and second, nobody out. Top of the first inning, so Harden goes down to first. And now Miles Jefferson will come up at .344 with 1 home run and 19 runs batted in. So Ferrer in some early trouble here this afternoon. So now Jefferson will come to the plate. 1 for 5 yesterday with an RBI and a couple of runs scored. Nothing, top of the first inning, Yolo and Oakland. And the pitch on the way to Jefferson, and that's outside from Ferrer, ball 1-0. Umpires for today's game, Bill Shortridge, he calls balls and strikes. Tim O'Day is the umpire at first base. And the umpire around at third is Ricardo Rodriguez. So 1-0 the count. Ferrer, extreme first base side of the rubber, kicks and deals, and Jefferson takes inside ball 2. And the count's at 2-0 from Ferrer, who takes a little stroll up along the grass, first base side of the mound. Ferrer and pretty much everybody else on the field, for Yolo that is, in the short white sleeves on this toasty Sunday afternoon. 2 balls, no strikes. The kick and the pitch. And that's strike one called on the inside corner. And the count's at 2 balls and 1 strike with Trevor Halsema on deck. Yellow in the white shirts, white pants. High Wheelers spelled across the front in black. Gold number on both sides of the shirt. Black cap, gold bill with the bicycle logo on the front of the cap. The kick on the 2-1. Up and in ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Oakland wears the button-down forest green shirts. Ballers in big gold letters spelled across the front. Gold number on the back of the shirt. Gray pants, forest green caps. So 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Jefferson. So Davis at second, Harden in first, no score. And the pitch, and that's inside out and foul down the right field side, strike 2. And the count moves now to 3 balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer. Again, Ferrer, his only other start this year was last week at Northern Colorado. Got a no decision. It was a game Yolo ended up winning 14-3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if the runners go here as Ferrer looks back at second. And runners don't go, and the pitch to Jefferson, a high pop-up foul right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes, with the game no score, top of the first inning, Yolo and Oakland. So you think 14-3, starting pitcher that he's going to win that game, but Yolo was shut out through 6 innings and scored 14 runs combined from innings 7, 8, and 9. It helps when you have an 8-run 8th inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and that's strike 3 called outside corner. And that is the first out here this afternoon. So Jefferson rung up there, and that's the first strikeout for Ferrer that keeps the runners at first and second. And now it's Trevor Halsema, who had a 3-hit, 4 RBI game yesterday, was a triple shy of the cycle. The bulk of those RBIs were in that 5-run 4th inning on a 3-run opposite field homer to right for Halsema. Runners at first and second. Now the runners go, and Halsema takes a strike on the outside corner, but the catcher Mendoza drops the pitch from Ferrer, so no throws. So Davis and Harden combine for a double steal since both runners are off on the pitch. Strictly a stolen base. So give Davis his 15th and team-high steal. Give Harden his 7th steal. So a double steal there. Counts at no balls and a strike. Infield's back. And the pitch, and Halsema swings, and he flies one to center. Should be deep enough to get Davis home. A few steps to his left. The center fielder Skinner reaches up, makes the catch. Tagging from third is Davis. He will score. Going second to third is Harden. So the stolen bases come back to hurt the High Wheelers there, and Oakland has a first inning run. So Halsema picks up from where he left off yesterday. 4 RBIs yesterday, which matched his season high for most RBIs in a game. And he has an RBI this afternoon. So Halsema, that's his team high 36th run batted in, and moves Harden to third. Of course, Davis scores. The throw came in toward third, by the way, from the center fielder Skinner. Now it's Dondre Hubbard to face Ben Ferrer with a run home for Oakland. And the pitch to Hubbard is a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike to Dondre Hubbard. 316 on the year, 6 home runs. He has 26 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch in a high fastball, swing and a foul at the plate, strike 2. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes to Hubbard. Ferrer, that start I mentioned that he had last week. In that game at Northern Colorado, he lasted 6 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs all earned. As Hubbard swings, flies this one to center. Skinner another opportunity, scampering a little further to his left this time, but the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, makes the catch. And Oakland done in the first. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left after half an inning on this Sunday afternoon. It is Oakland 1 and YOLO coming up on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. After half an inning this afternoon, it is Oakland 1 and Yolo coming up to face the right-hander in Aaron Eden, 6'3", 230 pounds, 24 years old, product of both San Diego State and, more recently than that, product of San Jose State, but more recently than that, San Diego State. Braylon Skinner leads it off, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and one strike. So Skinner, Marine, and Leday to face Eden, who was the losing pitcher here a few nights ago, meaning on Tuesday. The windup in the 0-1, and Skinner fouls one at the plate. Quickly strike two. No balls and two strikes to count to Skinner at .365. He has 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Skinner was 1 for 4 yesterday, single. Run scored, a walk, the 0-2, and that's outside ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Skinner, who has hits in 15 of his last 17 games. And 7 straight games with a hit for Skinner, 11 hits over that span. The windup in the 1-2, and that's lifted high and foul left side. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is 1-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers. We're in the bottom half of the first. A little bit of a breeze here this afternoon, but it is still a hot one. The windup in the 1-2, and that's reached for and a foul to the screen left side. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Braylon Skinner facing Aaron Eden. So Eden, third appearance this year against Yolo. The 1-2, and that's low ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The loss for Eden was that 17-1 game here on Tuesday. He allowed 5 runs all earned on 8 hits in 3 1/3 innings. Count to Skinner is at 2-2. And the pitch, and Braylon takes high ball 3, 3-2. Skinner was 1 for 2 with a walk against Eden here on Tuesday night. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Skinner Eden the full windup and the pitch, and that swung on line. Left field, base hit. To his left to grab the ball, the left fielder Harden, and now an 8-game hitting streak for Braylon Skinner, so he is aboard to get the bottom of the first cooking. Each team with a hit, 1-0 Oakland, and now Braylon Marine comes up. So Skinner at first base, 13 steals. He's been caught 4 times. So now it's Marine who bats at .385. He has 3 home runs and 22 runs batted in. So Skinner at first base being held on by Martinez. And Eden's sidestep offering misses outside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Marine, now he's got a 13-game hitting streak. 2 for 5 yesterday with a run scored and an RBI. He's got 28 hits over the 13 games. The 1-0 pitch, and Marine takes up an in-ball 2. 2-0. So the 13-game hitting streak, that's the longest hitting streak for any Yolo player. I don't mean just currently, but throughout the year. 28 for 61 over the 13 games for Marine. That's a .459 clip. 2 balls, no strikes. 1-0 Oakland. Bottom of the first, and the pitch and a breaking ball hits the outer half of the plate, called strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Marine has reached base safely in his last 14 games. Outfield not terribly deep around to the left, so Skinner at first base. Big hole out in right center. 2 balls, 1 strike. Turn throw to first. And Skinner back safely with a dive. Again, Martinez there to take the throw from Eden. The Marine looks down at his third base coach and manager Billy Horton relaying the signs. Gary Davenport, the bench coach, coaches over at first base. And the 2-1 here, and Marine swings. Chops one to short, could be 2. Jefferson to his left. The shortstop steps on second for 1, and on to Martinez at first for 2. That's a double play, so convenient hop right there for the shortstop, Miles Jefferson. And Marine hits into a 6-3 double play, so just like that, 2 out and nobody on. Oakland 1, Yolo nothing here in the first inning, the bottom half. And now the shortstop, Bobby Leday, who did not play yesterday. He digs in with a team-high .386 average, 6 home runs, and his 27 RBIs tied for most with the man on deck, Jose Gonzalez, as he takes Leday high outside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, hard to pick on Leday, obviously the year that he has had, but he's hit a little bit of a drought lately as Bobby swings and misses strike 1, 1-1. Lede, 8-game hitting streak, which ended here earlier in this series. One hit in his last 11 at bats for Lede. They'll wind up in the 1-1, and Bobby swings and he pops this one up. Back a short. Jefferson now moving further to his left and makes the catch just on the very lip of the grass, almost parallel to where straightaway center is. So one shortstop pops to the other, and the High Wheelers done in the first. One hit, nobody left, done with one. It's 1-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports.
Okay, folks, please welcome our yellow high.
On we go to the top half of the second inning. It is 1-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. And Noah Martinez to lead it off for the Ballers. Martinez, Gates, and Lozano, 6, 7, 8 to face Ben Ferrer, whose first pitch is outside, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Martinez hitless in yesterday's game. He's the only player of the 18 in the starting lineup when you combine the teams who did not reach base safely, as he takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count now 1 ball and 1 strike to Martinez at 275, 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. That's Ferrer from the set. First base side of the rubber deals, and Martinez slices one foul up along third, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ferrer, this is his third appearance. Let me check one other thing here. Could be his 4th appearance against Oakland. Yeah, 4th appearance against Oakland this year. A 1-2 pitch, and Martinez a swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt, strike 3. The catcher Mendoza up with the ball. I'll throw to Gonzalez at first. And Martinez is out. Strikeout, put out, goes 2-3. Second strikeout for Ferrer. 1 down, and now it's J.P. Gates who will come up with a 1-0 Oakland lead, top half of the second inning. But anyway, it's his 4th appearance against Oakland, but his first start against the Ballers. So now Gates stands in to face Ferrer, and Ben's pitch, and Gates takes outside, ball 1. And the count's a 1 ball and no strikes. Ferrer this year against Oakland is 1-0. 6.75 ERA against the Ballers. That's specifically against Oakland. His overall ERA, though, at 5.16 is the 1-0 to Gates. And that is taken outside for a ball. So the count, I believe, is 2 balls and no strikes. Scoreboard has 1-0 to J.P. Gates. All right, there we go. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. 1-0 Oakland. Ferrer delivers, and Gates takes very high and outside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Gates in his first ever professional series. Gates 2 for his first 9 with Oakland, a 222 clip. For the two-way player we've also seen pitch in this series. The 3-0 on the way, and that's up and away, ball 4. So Ferrer loses Gates on 4 pitches. So Gates down to first, 1-0 Oakland. Top half of the second inning. And now the catcher, Tyler Lozano, will dig in. 2:08 for Lozano, the Stockton product. No home runs. He has 5 runs batted in. So we've seen Lozano catch 3 games in this series. We've seen Colton Horner, the other Oakland catcher, catch the other 3. And now Ferrer to Lozano, who takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's no balls and 1 strike. Ferrer, one of his games against Oakland this year was at Raimondi Park. That was 2 weeks ago. As Lozano swings and rips one down the left field side, and that's going to get down, and that's going to go all the way to the warning track. Gates hustling to third base. He'll go in there with a slide, and Lozano has a double. So 1-out double for Tyler Lozano, and now the Ballers in business, second and third. Again, 1 out, 1-0 Oakland. Top half of the second inning. And now it's Brad Burkell who comes up to face Ferrer. So Gates goes to third, Lozano into second. So both Oakland hits this afternoon have been doubles. And now it's Brad Burkell who took Ferrer for a home run in Oakland 2 weeks ago. Burkell hits at an even 300, 6 homers, 24 RBIs. And the pitch to Brad, and that's outside ball 1-0. Middle infield back, they'll give up another run this early in the game. Obviously the job here is to allow, job here is to not allow any runs, but if worst case scenario, only allow 1 run, play the infield back. The kick of the 1-0, and Burkell a late swing and a miss at a fastball in the outer half, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Gates at third, Lozano at second. 1-0 in favor of the Ballers, top half of the second. Outfield around to the left, big hole in right center. And the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, and Burkell chases that one out of the zone and misses it, strike 2. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Burkell, who we've seen bounce around the infield in this series. We've seen him at second, we've seen him at third, we've seen him at short. Ferrer pairing in at the catcher, Mendoza. Now comes set. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Burkell made a motion to pitch and did not go around, so the third base umpire, Ricardo Rodriguez. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ferrer taking a little stroll back of the mound for Ben, who went to school initially at South Carolina Upstate and then transferred to Oregon State. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Burkell, I know he didn't swing at that prior pitch, but really offered at 4 pitches almost in the same area, all up and away. So big strikeout there, 2 out, third strikeout for Ferrer. That keeps Gates at third and Lozano at second. And now for the second time in as many innings, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the center fielder in Austin Davis. And the pitch on the way to Davis, and that's foul to the screen, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and a strike. Well, obviously, Ferrer not out of trouble yet. And remember, Oakland yesterday came up with some big 2-out hits. I mean, the 3-run homer by Halsema in that 5-run 4th inning. I mean, that's, let me correct that. That actually was with 1 out. I'm sorry about that. But the big 2-out hits were the insurance runs in the 8th and 9th. 1 run in each of those innings. Those are with 2 out. No balls, 1 strike to count. And the pitch on the way, and Davis is swinging and a miss on a breaking ball, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. I was talking about Ferrer, and I talked to Ben before the game, and I asked him, I said, how did you end up at Oregon State? Now, of course, most of you know Oregon State is usually one of the best baseball schools every year, Division I. And he said that he had pitched summer ball in Bend, Oregon. And the summer team there was pretty much run by the Oregon State coaching staff. No balls, 2 strikes. And he delivers, and Davis swings and just gets a piece of 1. 0-2 the count. 1-0 Oakland, top of the second, with runners at second and third and 2 out. Anyway, so Ferrer had a good summer league, and he was looking to transfer. He was looking, to put his name in the transfer portal You hear that term a lot for, the basketballs and footballs of the world, but baseball has the same rule where you can put your name in a transfer portal and go somewhere else. No balls, 2 strikes. He deals, and Davis takes high. He wanted to, so Ferrer, after his 3 seasons at South Carolina Upstate, which is in Spartanburg, South Carolina, went out to the West Coast, pitched in Bend, pitched for the Bend Elks, and the Oregon State staff liked what they saw and brought him over to Corvallis. The 1-2 on the way, and that's up and in, but that ball hit the bat. That was the case of the ball hitting the bat more than the bat hitting the ball. So, sort of a tough, it's already got 2 strikes, but tough pitch right there for Davis. Doesn't even get a ball out of it. It stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes with Harden on deck. So Ben Ferrer said, you know what, I'd love to go to Oregon State, and spent the final 2 seasons with the Beavers. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Ferrer again ready to go. Kicks and the 1-2. Swing and a foul to the backstop by Austin Davis. And we'll try it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Davis just trying to hang in there. See another pitch from Ben Ferrer. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Davis. Again, runners lead at 2nd and 3rd. 1-0 Oakland, the kick and the pitch, and Davis takes low and away. Good block there by the catcher Mendoza. Keeps that one from going to the backstop. 2-2 the count to Davis. Despite Davis leading off this series, we talked about him at Oakland, but really haven't dived into his background, where he went to school at the University of West Virginia, which included the pandemic year, but played there for 5 seasons and then got the transfer to TCU for his graduate year. The 2-2 pitch, low and away, ball 3. 3-2 to Davis, who's in his 2nd professional season. Davis was in the Frontier League last year with Ottawa, where he hit .288 with the Titans with a homer and 12 runs batted in. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Again, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Ballers 1, High Wheelers nothing to 3-2, and that's way inside ball 4. Davis had to back off the plate and let that one go by. So that loads him up now, and that's a good plate appearance for Davis. He was able to foul off a bunch of 2-strike pitches, and that's a tough plate appearance on the flip side with the Ferrer. I mean, he had to use, I don't know the exact amount of pitches he used there, but he had to burn a lot of pitches and ends up losing Davis on a 9-pitch walk. So now it's Peyton Harden, and he bats with the bags full. It is 1-0 Oakland, top of the 2nd, and Ferrer's pitch, and Harden takes down the middle, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Sort of see the body language of Ferrer. The balls he offered in that sequence weren't anywhere close. It's not like he's upset at the umpire or anything. He's just upset that he misfired. 0-1 the count. So big moment early here for both these teams, the 0-1, and Harden swings, and he drives this one toward right center field. That's going to get down, and that should clear the bases out in right center. Gates, Lozano, and Davis, everybody scores, and Harden has himself a 3-run stand-up triple, and it's now 4-0 Oakland. Now, there was no chance for the center fielder Skinner or the right fielder Smith to come up with that baseball. And eventually, Harden knew that Ferrer was going to have to come in with a fastball. I mean, there was no doubt. I mean, Ferrer had just walked Davis on 9 pitches, fell behind Harden at 1-0, and Harden cleans everybody up. So it's a 3-run triple for Peyton Harden. RBIs 13, 14, and 15. And now it's Miles Jefferson who takes a strike on the outside corner on 1. I was just talking about a couple of really big 2-out run-producing hits yesterday for Oakland. Well, that's a pretty big one here, a 3-run triple with 2 out, the 0-1. And that's fouled to the screen, strike 2, 0-2. But you really have to credit Austin Davis. I mean, let's go back to that plate appearance. That was, again, a 9-pitch walk to Davis, and he fouled off a bunch of those pitches. He kept that inning going and was able to get it to Harden and obviously back Ferrer further into a corner. The kick on the 0-2 here, and Jefferson goes around strike three, pitch on the outer half. And he strikes out for the second time this afternoon. Once looking, now swinging. Little consolation that Ferrer strikes out all of the outs he records in the second, but the 3-run triple by Harden tells the story of this half inning. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. Now 4-0 Oakland over Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Well, the High Wheelers with a lot of work to do early. 4-0 in favor of Oakland. Jose Gonzalez leads it off, and he takes outside ball 1. And the count's a 1 ball and no strikes. Gonzalez, Blackford, and Kirby. As the pitch from Eden is a strike on the inner half, 1-1. So 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Oakland. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Yolo. Gonzalez waits and the pitch, and that's low and in ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gonzalez digs in at .359. He has 7 homers. That's a team high. And he has 27 RBIs. They'll wind up in the 2-1, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike to count is at 3-1. I guess that was originally ruled a strike, so I guess instead of 2-2, it's 3-1 now to Jose Gonzalez. I mentioned the 7 homers, tops on the club. He homered yesterday in the 5th inning. That was his first home run at this ballpark. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. It is 4-0 Oakland. Eden out of the windup on the pitch, and Jose a swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Lozano, and that's strike 2. And the count's now at 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Houston area product and Gonzalez. They'll wind up in the 3-2, and Gonzalez fouls one at the plate. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez 14 RBIs over his last 9 games. Has to shake that one off. Did not appear too pleasant. Boy, that got him a lot more than I thought it did. I mean, he's really hobbling out there. It's almost like he's using the bat as a cane to get that stinger out. Well, Jose will gradually get back in the box, and now he's going to request time to take another walk out of there. And Billy Horton, the manager, out to check and see on Gonzalez. Now, this obviously does not count against, time against you. You have to shake off an injury. So here we go. Looks like Gonzalez is ready to go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 4-0 Oakland, bottom 2. They'll wind up in the payoff, and that's way up and away, ball 4. So Gonzalez can watch him there gingerly trot off to first base. So he draws a walk. And now Braden Blackford digs in. Blackford digs in at .288. He has 5 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Blackford was 0 for 4 yesterday with a walk. So I'd imagine Gonzalez is going to try to steal here after he just fouled a ball off his foot as Blackford takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike, but Gonzalez does have 3 steals this year in 4 attempts. So no balls, 1 strike the count to Justin Kirby. I'm sorry, with Justin Kirby on deck. Count to Blackford's at 0-1. Kirby on deck. Outfield medium depth straight away, and Blackford swings when he drives this one toward right center field. That's going to get down a base hit. Gonzalez will touch second and will head to third standing up, so it looks pretty good there, running first to third. And Blackford has a single, second hit for the Yolo High Wheelers this afternoon. And now it's Justin Kirby's turn. So Blackford, nice piece of hitting there. The right fielder Halsema got to the ball, and then as he tried to swipe at it, he knocked the ball down with his glove, and the ball rolled away a little bit. But Gonzalez was, I think, had first to third on his mind regardless. So now it's Kirby, who homered yesterday, 327, 3 homers, 12 RBIs. The home run yesterday, his first at this ballpark. The other 2 for him were in northern Colorado. And the pitch on the way is a strike called on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike to Kirby. As the pitch, and Justin takes, and that's outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Kirby yesterday scored 2 runs. He was 3 for 4. It was his second 3-hit game of the year. Runners at the corners, 4-0 Oakland, and Kirby swings and pops one up foul right side. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But Kirby scored 2 runs yesterday. So now 9 straight games for Kirby in which he has scored at least a run. 1-2 the count. Middle infield looking to turn 2. And the pitch, and Kirby swings, and he flies this one toward the line in right. Halsema on the run in the foul ground, and he cannot get it. It's a foul ball. I think the High Wheelers would have been okay with him catching that ball because I think safe to say it would have been an easy sacrifice fly. That's one of those, if let's say it's the 8th or 9th inning and the game is tied, where you do not catch the ball, but not in this case. Not here in the 2nd inning where it's 4-0 Oakland. So the count to Kirby's at 1 ball and 2 strikes with the right fielder and Tanner Smith waiting on deck. And Aaron Eden ready to go. Now turn throw to first. Blackford back safely standing up. First baseman Martinez there to take the throw. Blackford 1 steal this year. He's not been caught. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count with nobody out. Outfield again, medium depth, and the pitch to Kirby, and that's up and in ball 2. And the count now with 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kirby. White pants up to his knees, showing the thick black socks. Gonzalez at third, Blackford at first, the 2-2, and Kirby looks low outside ball 3. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kirby. So 3-2 the count with a 4-0 lead for Oakland. And Eden from the third base side of the rubber. Blackford at first. Blackford bluffs and the pitch, and Kirby swings and flies one toward right. Halsema back to his left, makes the catch. Tagging from third is Gonzalez, and he will score standing up. Blackford holds at first, and Kirby a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. So it's 4-1 Oakland. RBI for Kirby is his 13th now. So that one does stay in the field of play. So the leadoff walk leads to at least a run. And now it's Tanner Smith who comes up. He was 0 for 1 yesterday as a pinch hitter. Smith, 253, 2 homers, 12 RBIs, and Eden's pitch is a strike called on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. So Tanner, going into yesterday, had a on-base streak, reaching base safely, that is, in 16 consecutive games. And it was snapped yesterday. No ball, 1 strike pitch, and he swings and chops one toward second. Burkell up with it. He will throw to first for 1 out, and now Martinez's throw trying to get Kirby, and the ball goes into left field. Kirby slides in safely. The shortstop Jefferson came in to take the throw, and kind of a complicated play there. Only 1 out is recorded. 4-3 on the play at first. There is no error because an out was recorded, and Blackford gets second base no matter what. So just simply a 4-3 play. No error because there was no further advance by Blackford. So Smith is out, 2 down. Blackford is second, and now it's Kirkland Banks, who digs in, facing Aaron Eden, who kicks from the set, and Banks is hit in the back. So Kirkland drilled with that and tosses the bat over toward the YOLO first base dugout. So Kirkland Banks will go down to first base. And now it's first and second. And now it's Angel Mendoza who comes up. And he represents the possible tying run. Mendoza bats at 208. He has one home run, and he has 10 runs batted in. Mendoza did not play yesterday. And the pitch to Angel, who could use a hit, takes a strike from Eden on the outside corner. No balls and one strike. Mendoza 3 hits in his last 21 at-bats. It's a 143 clip. Blackford's at second, Banks at first. And the pitch and a breaking ball to Mendoza, and that's strike 2 call on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. 4 runs, 3 hits, and no errors for Oakland. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors for YOLO. Outfield medium depth straightaway. And Eden delivers, and Mendoza takes... Well, it was called a ball. They're going to challenge that. Oakland will challenge that. And it's been overturned to strike 3. So Mendoza is out on strikes as it turns out. And that's the first strikeout for Eden. And that concludes the second. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the third. It's 4-1. Oakland leading YOLO on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Four to one, Oakland leads YOLO. We go on to the top half of the third inning from Dobbins Stadium. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Again, I will be doing the games remotely. Coming up, YOLO will not be there will not be playing remotely. They will be in Idaho Falls for 6 games starting on Tuesday. Idaho Falls has yet to announce its rotation. They apparently are going to have quite a few roster moves and such, so they're not sure yet on who their starters will be. Talk more about that in a moment. Trevor Halsema leads it off 4-1 Oakland, and Ben Ferrer delivers a strike on the outside corner to Halsema. No balls and a strike. It's Halsema, Hubbard, and Martinez. 4-5-6 to face Ferrer. Halsema sacrificed fly in the first inning as the 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. YOLO will stay with its regular 6-man rotation going into the series at Idaho Falls. So Cameron Rapetti will be the starter on Tuesday night up in Idaho. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, and that's taken low ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. So Cameron Rapetti, Dawson Lane, Brandon McPherson, Sean Gamelin, Brandon Mitchell, Ben Ferrer, in that order, will be the starters for that set. The kick in the 2-1. And that's low ball 3-1. And I know, always subject to change, but as of now, everything is expected to stay the same for those 6. All the game times in Idaho Falls will be 6:05 p.m. Pacific time. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Halsema. And the 3 balls, 1 strike in the pitch, and Halsema lines one to left field, but Kirby playing perfectly is right there to make the catch of the line drive, fly ball, whatever you want to call it. 1 down. And now Dondre Hubbard will dig in. They fly to center in the first inning. So anyway, all those game times Pacific time are 6:05. So again, we'll have it for you on YouTube Live. Again, I'll be doing those games remotely. Of course, you can also catch them on Flow Sports. But turn the sound down on Flow Sports when the team's on the road and listen to us. Now it's Hubbard. And Dondre swings and drives one high and deep to left field. And this ball is gone over the 10-foot wall. Very quick wrists right there for Dondre Hubbard as he goes deep. Oakland gets the run right back. And it's now 5-1 Oakland. So Hubbard, who had the 4 homers against Yolo in the series a few weeks ago at Raimondi Park. Dondre Hubbard goes deep here for his 7th round tripper and his 27th run batted in. That's his first homer of the series. And now Noah Martinez comes up. So just like that, 5-1 now in favor of the Oakland Ballers. And now it's Noah Martinez, and he takes low from Ben Ferrer, ball 1. Now the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. So I want to know the count now. That's the 4th home run allowed by Ferrer this year. As the 1-0 pitch from the set, Martinez takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's now 1 ball and 1 strike. So 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the visiting Ballers. Run 2 hits, no errors for the hometown High Wheelers. And the 1-1 on the way, and that swung on and sliced foul up along third. Strike 2 by Martinez. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Noah, who struck out swinging in the second and then was put out 2-3. A pitch that it was in the dirt. The catcher Mendoza threw to the first baseman Gonzalez to get the final out there. The kick on the 1-2, not the final out, but get the out there. The 1-2 pitch, and that's low ball 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 2 strikes here at Dobbins Stadium, which opened on the UC Davis campus in 1986. 310 down the lines. 385 to the gaps. 410 to straightaway center. The 2-2 here, and Martinez takes, and that is low ball 3. And the count's now at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Noah Martinez. Gates waits on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 5-1 Oakland, top of the 3rd, and the 3-2. And that's up and away, ball 4. So Ferrer loses Martinez on a full count walk. And that is the 4th walk allowed by Ferrer this afternoon. And now here is the designated hitter in J.P. Gates. Talking about Ferrer in his last start last Sunday in Northern Colorado, where he worked 6 1/3 innings. That's the most innings pitched by a Yolo hurler this year. Now it's Gates who swings to the first pitch, and he pops this one up foul, third base side, and out of play, strike 1. And the count moves to no balls and 1 strike with a 5-1 Oakland lead over Yolo. Top half of the 3rd. So remember, Oakland had been shut out for 13 straight innings. Remember, they were shut out here the other day, and then didn't score in the 9th inning the day before, and then were shut out through the first 3 innings yesterday. As Gates swings, and he lines this one in the center field, a base hit. Ball played on 1 hop by the center fielder Skinner. Martinez up to second. And Gates now 1 for 1. He walked and then scored on the 3-run triple by Davis in the 2nd inning. So it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out, and a 5-1 lead for the Oakland Ballers. And now here's the catcher in Tyler Lozano. But anyway, Ferrer mentioned 6 1/3 innings. That last start at Northern Colorado. And bit of a scuffle here, or struggle here this afternoon. But anyway, Oakland mentioned 13 straight innings over the course of this series without a run scored. And now, yesterday, they ended up scoring in 5 of the last 6 innings, and today have scored in the first 3 innings. So they go 13 straight innings without scoring, and now they've scored in 8 of their last 9 innings. So now it's Lozano who digs in with runners at first and second, and Tyler takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, yesterday they had that 5-run fourth and scored in 4 of the last 6 innings yesterday, and have scored the first 3 innings tonight. The 0-1 pitch, or today, swinging a ground ball to short, grabbed by Leday, goes to Banks at second for 1, and on to Gonzalez at first. That is a double play, and it goes 6-4-3, and that ends the 3rd inning. Yeah, just going back to looking at yesterday, just to clean that up for a moment. Yeah, 5 of the last 6 innings yesterday in which they had scored, and the first 3 today. So 8 of the last 9 innings, Oakland has scored at least a run. 1 run here on the homer by Hubbard. 1 run, 2 hits. There were no errors, and a runner left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It is 5-1 in favor of the Oakland Ballers over the Yellow High Wheelers on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Moving along to the bottom of the 3rd inning, it is 5-1 in favor of the Oakland Ballers over the Yellow High Wheelers. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. And it'll be the top of the yellow order for the 2nd time this afternoon, and Braylon Skinner to lead it off. So it'll be Skinner, Marine, and Leday as Aaron Eden delivers a strike on the outside corner. Actually, they appeal. Skinner trying to bunt and bunted through the pitch on the appeal, the 3rd base umpire, and Ricardo Rodriguez. So Skinner, who really doesn't show a whole lot of emotion, but was not happy there that he was called for going around. Billy Horton discussing that with Rodriguez, who, of course, is standing right near him as the 0-1 pitch is inside, ball 1. And the count's a 1 ball and 1 strike. Skinner singled to left in the 1st inning. The lineup in the 1-1 pitch, and that's outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count to Skinner. I was talking to him before the game today about the College World Series, which unfortunately I really haven't had much of a chance to follow, it seems. The lineup in the 2-1, swinging a tapper foul up along first, strike 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 2 strikes, but that could get wrapped up today in the College World Series in Omaha. The 2-2 pitch, tapped towards second base. To his left is Burkell, and up with the baseball, he'll throw to Martinez at first, and Skinner is out, 1 down. 5-1 Oakland in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And now it's the designated hitter, Braylon Marine, to face Aaron Eden. But, yeah, Braylon and I were Braylind, as opposed to Braylon. Braylind, Skinner and I were talking about that. Good chance the SEC will win that World Series. Marine swings, ground ball past the shortstop Jefferson, left field, base hit. And Braylon Marine now a 14-game hitting streak. So Marine extends it here in the bottom of the third with a single. So 14 straight games with at least a hit for Marine, and 15 straight games overall where he's reached base safely. So Marine at first, and now it's Bobby Leday who digs in. He popped a shortstop in the first inning, and Eden delivers, and Leday is swinging and a miss at a breaking ball, strike one. No balls, one strike. But yeah, pretty good chance the Southeastern Conference is going to win that College World Series with Texas A&M playing Tennessee. I'm going to put my money on the SEC school to win that one. The 0-1, and that swung on and taps slowly toward short. The third baseman, Hubbard, cuts it off, moving to his left, and he will throw to Martinez at first to get Leday. Marine moves up to second, but 2 out now. 5-1 Oakland, bottom half of the third inning. And now it's Jose Gonzalez who will bat. Yeah, I read something interesting about that it's the first time ever that the University of Tennessee had made it to the final round of the College World Series. You know, when they obviously get past the first few rounds, and then it becomes a best of 3. And, first time that Tennessee has ever got that close to a College World Series championship. Now it's Gonzalez who takes high ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. But Braylon Skinner, talked about, was on the 2021 Mississippi State College World Series Championship Club. Gonzalez walked and scored in the second inning, and Jose swings and drives one toward center field. Base hit. Marine touches third, and he will score easily standing up. Jose Gonzalez, a 2-out RBI single, and it's 5-2 Oakland. So give Gonzalez now a team high in RBIs. That's his 28th this season. So Jose now 1 for 1 today. He had walked and scored in the second and has an RBI single here. Now it's Braden Blackford. 4 hits for Yolo, but it's still 5-2 Oakland. So now Blackford digs in. And Blackford drops a bunt, foul up along third, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count to Blackford, who singled to right field in the second inning. Facing Aaron Eden, who went to high school in Norco, California. That's along Interstate 15, south of Riverside. No ball, 1 strike pitch, and Blackford a swing and a foul with backstop, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And I want to clarify, I think I had said that his most recent school was San Diego State. He began his college career at San Diego State and then ended up at San Jose State. So he most recently a Spartan. The 0-2 to Blackford is low ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Actually, it's his second pro year for, really his first pro year for Eden. He was in the MLB Draft League, but not technically on the professional side at Mahoning Valley back in 21. The 1-2 to Blackford, and that's popped up foul left side. 1-2 the count, because he ended up going back to college. So he was, as I said, not there as a professional player with Mahoning Valley in Ohio. So this year is really his first pro year for Aaron Eden. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Gonzalez at first, and the pitch, and that is high ball 2. So the count to Blackford is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 here. Gonzalez goes. Pitch up and away. Throw to second base, and Gonzalez is out with a dive. No doubt about that. Good throw from the catcher Lozano to the shortstop Jefferson. So 2-6 on the caught stealing. And Gonzalez is out. And so are the High Wheelers. Gonzalez caught stealing for the second time this season. But an RBI single by Gonzalez. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. On we go to the fourth. 5-2. Oakland leads Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. We go to the top half of the fourth inning. 5 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Oakland. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for Yolo. And Brad Burkell to lead it off against Ben Ferrer. It'll be Burkell. And on the top of the Oakland order for the center fielder Davis, and then Hardin 9-1-2. And the first pitch to Burkell is swinging a miss to the breaking ball, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. Burkell struck out swinging in the second inning. That's Ferrer ready to go, deals. And the pitch, and that's down the middle, strike 2 called. And the count moves now to no balls and 2 strikes to Burkell out of Lindale, Texas, out in eastern Texas. Imagine how hot it is there. The 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1-1-2. That's been the big thing this week. Of course, the official start of summer, but it has been hot, scalding just about everywhere, certainly here. But even worse when you get out toward the center of the country. The kick on the 1-2, and that's swung on and fouled at the plate. And the count moves now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 the count to Burkell. And a 5-2 advantage in the fourth inning for Oakland. The 1-2 pitch, and Burkell is swinging a miss to the breaking ball, strike 3. And he is down on strikes. That is the 5th strikeout for Ben Ferrer. So 1 out. And here is the top of the Oakland order for the 3rd time. The center fielder, Austin Davis. Ferrer, here on June 1st against Grand Junction, in a relief role, went 4 shutout innings, struck out 6. The 6 strikeouts, the most by a Yolo relief pitcher this year. So now it's Davis, who is 1 for 1, a double, a walk, and a couple of runs scored. So now Davis will come to the plate. It's been Ferrer ready to go from the set. Kicks and delivers, and Davis takes, and that is low, ball 1. And the count now at 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Austin Davis. Mentioned Davis out of West Virginia. Has the pitch on the way, and that is high for a ball. And the count now at 2 balls and no strikes to Davis. West Virginia team that got as far as the Super Regionals this year before losing to North Carolina. Davis from Orlando originally, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count now at 2 balls and a strike. Davis, his junior year at West Virginia, all Big 12 honorable mention. At .320 that year from the Mountaineers. 2 balls and a strike. Ferrer kicks and delivers, and Davis takes, and that's a strike on the inside corner. And the count moves now to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Davis. So he played a couple of schools in the Big 12. Of course, West Virginia and TCU, both Big 12 programs. The kick of the 2-2, and Davis swings, and he drives one toward left center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Far to his left, the left fielder Kirby up with the ball, gets it in towards second. And Davis, he is now 2 for 2 this afternoon. And that is hit number 6 for Oakland. A 5-2 lead for the Oakland Ballers. 4th inning, top half, but now Peyton Hardin, who had that 2-out, 3-run triple in the second. Difference in the game right now. He will bat against Ben Ferrer. So Davis, the runner at first base, does have 1 steal this afternoon. Davis on the season now with 15 steals and 18 tries. And the pitch on the way to Hardin, in that ball was inside. Hardin had showed bunt. The pitch was inside. I don't know if the ball carried off the glove of Mendoza and bounced back in the direction of the mound, but anyway, it goes as a ball. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. We're going to 105 start here this afternoon. Our regular Sunday starting time. A little bit of a breeze, but it is hot, hot, hot here, and getting hot throughout the United States. I would much rather have this than the opposite, that is for sure. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Blackford, third baseman, on the lip of the grass. And the 1-0, and that's swung on by Harden. Fly to left center field. To his left is the left fielder Justin Kirby, and he'll be there to make the catch. So Harden retired for the first time this afternoon. 5-2, Oakland leads Yolo. Top of the fourth inning. And now Miles Jefferson will come up. So Oakland will head home after today's game, and then they'll start a homestand against Northern Colorado. I mentioned Yolo tomorrow will head up to, they will fly, I think they're going to fly to Salt Lake, and then we'll bus up to Idaho Falls. So now it's Jefferson who digs in, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike to Jefferson, who has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Oakland. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Yolo. A little bigger lead at first by Davis. Draws a throw from Ferrer, and Gonzalez there to take it, and Davis back safely with a dive. Ferrer, blondish brown curly hair out of the back of his black cap as he bends in to get the sign from Mendoza. No balls, 1 strike, the count. And Ferrer delivers, and Jefferson takes, and that is high for a ball. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. See Yolo, the High Wheelers, first base dugout, out leaning on the navy blue padded rail. The kick of the 1-1 pitch found to the backstop, 1-2. I'm not sure how strong the misting system is in each dugout, but it is in use here this afternoon, that is for sure. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count with 2 out. With Halsema waiting on deck. And the runner at first base, Davis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davis goes, and the pitch on the hit and run, foul to the screen. And we'll try it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ferrer. Second year for Ferrer in the Pioneer League. Was at Glacier last year with a new team up there. With a Glacier last year, he was 1-1 in 14 games. And it's definitely on my list of places to get. I've never been to Kalispell here. It's beautiful up there. I'd like to go see that ballpark. The 1-2, and that's low. Taken off late for second, Davis dives into second, and the throw from the catcher Mendoza goes into center. So Davis dives into second. Stolen base, error on the catcher Mendoza. Second steal for Davis this afternoon, gives him 16 this year in 19 tries. It's really a slow developing play. Now a runner at third with 2 out. Count to Jefferson is at 1 ball and 2 strikes, and a 5-2 advantage for the Ballers, top of the fourth. And the 1-2 from Ben Ferrer to Miles Jefferson, and that's popped up. Foul ground back at first. Gonzalez over near the screen, and the ball will hit the screen, so it's a foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Slow developing because you had Jefferson make a motion at the pitch. There was an appeal to the first base umpire, Tim O'Day. You had the delayed steal by Davis. You had the throw to second, of course, by the catcher Mendoza, and then the ball went into center field, allowing Davis to go to third. So that's where Davis is right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5-2 Oakland. And the pitch, and that's off the plate, ball 3. 3-2, and now the High Wheelers are going to challenge that. And the pitch has been overturned to a strike. So Jefferson is called out on strikes, as it turns out. Based on the challenge, he's called out. And the 6 strikeouts for Ferrer match his season high. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. On to the bottom of the fourth. It remains Oakland 5 and Yolo 2 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. We move to the bottom of the fourth inning. 5-2 Oakland leads Yolo. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. And Braden Blackford gets it started. So remember, Blackford was still at the plate when Gonzalez was caught looking in the, when Gonzalez was caught stealing in the to end the third. So Blackford gets the leadoff nod here in the fourth, and he takes outside ball one from Aaron Eden. 1 ball, no strikes. 5-2 Oakland as Eden delivers, and Blackford takes. That's a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike to Blackford. So it's Blackford, Kirby, and Smith, 5, 6, and 7 to face Eden, who's out of the full windup using the aqua blue glove, and he misses low inside for a ball. And the count to Blackford is a 2 balls and 1 strike. Outfield medium depth straightaway. The kick on the 2-1. Low inside ball 3. So now the count is at 3 balls and 1 strike. From Eden. Delivers, and Blackford swings, and a ground ball past the diving first baseman Martinez. And in the right field, a base hit. So Blackford, he's now 2 for 2 today as the right fielder hauls him up with the ball, gets it in towards second base. And now Justin Kirby will come to the plate. Kirby, right-handed batter, so runner at first base is Blackford. And the Oakland Ballers have a 5-2 lead as the pitch to Kirby. Breaking ball taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at no balls and to 1 strike. 0-1 the count. And Eden delivers, and Kirby takes, and that's outside ball 1. Now the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Kirby, who swings and taps this one foul up along third. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Kirby. I spoke with him before the game today. Remember I mentioned last night about his time in Alaska, the Matsu Miners, as he takes outside ball 2, 2-2. And it was in reference to the Midnight Sun game that is played every year up in the last frontier. Always played on the summer solstice, June 21st, as Kirby takes the 2-2 outside ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Kirby told me he played in that game. The one season, 2019, that he played in Alaska in the Summer League, he got to play in that Midnight Sun game. But he told me that the game he played was not in Fairbanks. 3-2 pitch, very high, ball 4. Ball goes to the backstop, but it's ball 4 anyway. The catcher, Lozano, of course, has to go pick the ball up and does near the screen. But it goes as a ball, so, and as a walk, so Blackford is second. Kirby twice has been up, still does not have an official at bat. A sac fly in the second, and a walk here in the fourth. And a 5-2 advantage for Oakland. And now Tanner Smith comes up as the possible tying run. But anyway, Kirby told me that the year he played in the game, it was held in Anchorage, not in Fairbanks, but they still had the Midnight Sun game. He said the year that he was in the league that there was not a team in Fairbanks, but I guess there is now, or maybe a team has returned to Fairbanks, the Alaska Gold Panthers. So that's where the Midnight Sun game was the other night. But Kirby said to me, you know, he admitted, sure, it's a historic game. It's a fun game to be a part of, the Midnight Sun game. But he said it's not an easy game in which to play because the sun at midnight is really blaring down, and it's not easy to see. As the pitch on the way to Tanner Smith is a strike on the outside corner 0-1. And he said, yeah, you know, it's a cool event. A lot of history to it, no doubt about it, but playing in it is not the easiest thing to do. Just the fact that normally we don't see the sun. We in the lower 48 don't see the sun at midnight. But he says, yeah, it was definitely a light out at that hour. The 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1. The other night I did see that Baseball Hall of Famer Dave Winfield was honored with a statue up in Fairbanks. He played up there in the Alaska Summer League. and was up there for that game the other night. The 1-1 pitch, and Smith shows one and takes low ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Winfield over 500 homers, over 3,000 hits in his major league career, which was predominantly with the Padres and Yankees, although Winfield would go on and play with the likes of the Twins and Angels, and Indians. The kick in the 2-1, and Smith takes a strike on the inside corner. So count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But yeah, Winfield honored the other night in Fairbanks as a former Gold Panner. Big statue, 2-2 pitch, and that slow ball 3. 3 into anything with Dave Winfield's going to be pretty big. Big guy who about 6'5", 6'6", and was drafted in all 3 major sports. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count with nobody out. I'm talking Major League Baseball, NFL, and NBA. That's what I'm referring as the major sports. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the payoff, and Smith reaches for this one and pops it up. Should be playable. Hubbard, the third baseman, back of the coach's box, makes the catch. So good job by Eden. Fell behind at 3-0, and he gets Smith the pop out. Fouls out, and that is out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Non-productive out that keeps runners at first and second, and now it's Kirkland Banks who comes up as the possible tying run. He was hit with a pitch his first time. Yeah, Dave Winfield spent 2 years up there, 1971 and 72. And again, brought him back to obviously honor him in front of that midnight Sun game. Now the pitch on the way is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Banks hit with a pitch in the 2nd inning. So Blackford's at second, Kirby's at first. And Eden from the set delivers, and Banks a pop-up foul right side, strike 1. And the count's now 1 ball and 1 strike to Banks, with the catcher Angel Mendoza on deck. Now, obviously, this stage in the game, you don't need to get everything back, but Yolo knocking at the door here would like to at least get 1 run in. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch, and Banks swings, ground ball towards short. To his left, Jefferson flips the second baseman Raquel for 1, and on to Martinez at first. Double play, 6-4 to 3 on the double play. And that's the second double play hit into by the High Wheelers this afternoon. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. We go to the 5th, 5-2. Oakland still out in front over Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Moving along to the top half of the fifth inning, it is 5-2. The Oakland Ballers out in front, and the new YOLO pitcher is left-hander Jacob Stobart. His record is 4-0, team-high 4 wins. It's also the second most amount of wins in the Pioneer League. ERA at 4.5, 10th appearance, all out of the bullpen for the Phoenix native in Stobart. So final pitching line on Ben Ferrer this afternoon for YOLO. 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs all earned. Walked 4, struck out 6, and allowed a home run. Trevor Halsema leads it off. It's Halsema, Hubbard, and Martinez. 4-5-6 to face Stobart, who kicks and the pitch, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. 5-6-0 for Oakland, 2-5-1 for YOLO. Halsema sacrifice fly in the first. He's 0 for 1. And Stobart with the bright yellow cleats works from the third base side of the rubber, kicks and delivers, and that's taken outside for a ball. And the count moves now to 1 ball and 1 strike from Stobart, who stands 5'10", 180 pounds. He's 26 years old. Jacob Stobart. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch, and that's up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. So High Wheelers, yeah, they do have a couple of runs in today, but have been snake bit a few of the other innings where they've grounded into double plays. 2 balls, 1 strike. Stobart again ready to go from the belt, or from the high set, the 2-1. And that's low inside, ball 3. So now 3 balls and 1 strike. A 5-2 lead for the Oakland Ballers, trying to split this series. These for the first 11 games of the 36 scheduled between these two teams this year, Oakland leads the series 6-5. So 2 balls and 1 strike the count. And Stobart kicks and delivers, and that's a swing and a miss. Fastball in the outer half, strike 2. And the count moves now to 2 balls and 2 strikes with Andre Hubbard on deck. And a 5-2 lead for Oakland. Top half of the 5th. Stobart delivers, and that's swung on and driven towards shallow center, hustling in Skinner, and he'll be there to make the catch. That ball had, fortunately for the High Wheelers, enough hang time for the speedy Skinner to come in and make the play. 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. It is 5-2 in favor of Oakland. And now Andre Hubbard will come up to face Stobart, who worked here back on June 20th. That was on Thursday night. And now the pitch on the way, and that's taken outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. That game on Thursday was won by YOLO 8-4. So 1 ball and no strikes, the count. And the pitch, and that's taken low for a ball. The count now at 2 balls and no strikes. Let me correct that, June 19th. So that was the Wednesday night's game. That was a 7-3 Oakland win. Stobart in that one worked 3 2/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. Hubbard, a home run his last time. He's 1 for 2 in the 2-0, and Stobart delivers a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 3 2/3 innings and 5 strikeouts Stobart had in that game were the most in each of those categories for him. 2-1 to Hubbard, hit softly in the air into right field. Plenty of room out there for Tanner Smith, and the right fielder makes the routine catch. And Hubbard is out. So 2 out, and now Noah Martinez will come up. Yeah, Stobart mentioned 4-0. His 4th win of the year. That was on June 14th at Northern Colorado. Jacob was the first ever winning pitcher in the history of the High Wheelers back on May 21st. Won the team's opener. Now it's Martinez who takes a strike on the inside corner. And the count's of no balls and a strike from Stobart, who features a fastball, curveball, changeup, and a slider. No balls, 1 strike. 5-2 Oakland, top of the 5th. Lay on the pitch, and Martinez takes, and that is low ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Noah Martinez with J.P. Gates on deck. So 1-1 the count. Lay on the pitch, and that's taken low ball 2 for Noah Martinez. So 2-1 now. Stobart gets the ball back, takes a little stroll over toward the third base side of the mound. So 2 balls and 1 strike, and now Stobart will step off the rubber. So 2-1. 5-2 Ballers and the pitch, and that's low outside ball 3. And the count now moves to 3 balls and 1 strike from Stobart, who pretty much has been the middle relief left-handed role this year. He right now is the only lefty active, that is, on the Yolo squad. Is the 3-1 pitch, and that's popped up foul left side. And the count moves down to 3 balls and 2 strikes with a 5-2 advantage for Oakland. Top of the 5th with Chris Anglin on the injured list right now for the Yolo High Wheelers. Stobart becomes the only left-handed pitcher from this club. Only left-handed relief pitcher, that is. Only bullpen lefty. 3 ball, 2 strike pitch. And that's swung on and lined to right field. Smith back a few steps, and he makes the catch. So 3 fly ball outs in order against Stobart here in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Halfway done, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-2. Oakland leads Yolo on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. Halfway done as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is 5-2 Oakland. Angel Mendoza leads it off, and he shows fun and takes to the backstop outside ball 1-0. Doug Greenwald with you here on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Glad you can join us on this Sunday afternoon. 5-2 Oakland, bottom 5. And Mendoza pushes a bunt right out in front of the mound off the hill to grab the ball, Eden, and he'll run the ball halfway to first. Underhand toss to Martinez, and Mendoza is out. So Mendoza trying to surprise everybody right there by pushing a bunt, but no surprise for Eden. 1 out, and now for the 3rd time this afternoon, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, who is 1 for 2 with a single to left. A 5-2 advantage for Oakland. And the windup and the pitch, and Skinner swings and hits this one back to the mound. Snagged on out by Eden. Once again, he'll run the ball almost all the way to the first baseman. Martinez will still flip the baseball to him. And Skinner is out. So back-to-back, you put in the scorebook 1-3. 2 totally different kind of 1-3s. You have the bunt by Mendoza, and then the comebacker, the full swing comebacker by Skinner, who's now 1 for 3, appropriately. So 2 out quickly, bottom of the 5th inning, 5-2 Oakland, and now it's Braylon Marine, who singled his last time, and he takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 1 for 2, single and a run scored. So now a 14-game hitting streak for Marine, who takes low from Eden, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike from Eden, who delivers, and Marine, I think, accidentally tipped that ball into the glove of the catcher, Lozano. So that's a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eden working quickly. And the pitch, and Marine takes high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The game Eden started here on Tuesday night, Marine was 2 for 3 in that game, 2 for 3 specifically against Eden. Overall in that game, Marine had 5 hits and was a triple shy of the cycle, but 2 of those 5 hits were against Eden, which included an RBI double as he takes those Marine outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Marine, the only high wheeler to have a 5-hit game this year. The windup in the 3-2. And that's popped up back at first, the foul ground. Noah Martinez tries for it and cannot come up with it. Just reached out and couldn't catch it. Slid and kicks up a ton of dust that blows through the net down the right field side. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count to Braylon Marine. So 3-2 the count with 2 out. Full windup by Eden, and the pitch, and Marine swings and misses, foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, Lozano, strike 3. And Marine is out, and the High Wheelers go in order for the first time this afternoon. Second strikeout for Eden. So 1, 2, 3 for Yolo. We go to the 6th. 5-2, Oakland out in front over Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. We head to the 6th inning. 5-2, Oakland out in front over Yolo. Again, the High Wheelers are off tomorrow. They'll start a series at Idaho Falls on Tuesday. We'll have those for you remotely here on YouTube Live. And again, all those game times, the first pitch will be 6:05 Pacific across the board from Idaho Falls. J.P. Gates leads it off, facing Jacob Stobart. Each team went in order in the 5th, so now we, as I said, head on to the 6th, and Stobart's first pitch to Gates is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 5-6-0 for Oakland, 2-5-1 for Yolo. Oakland has led from the start. Gates, part of that, 1 for 1, a single, a walk, and a run scored. And the 1 ball, no strike pitch, and that's outside from Stobart. He went to college at Stephen F. Austin in Nacogdoches, Texas. 2 balls, no strikes. Talking about Gates, mentioned this is his first week in professional baseball after having won the Division II College World Series this year. Swings, chops one back at first, gloved by Gonzalez, and he'll flip to the pitcher, Stobart covering. And Gates is out for the first time this afternoon. 3-1 on the play at first. 4 up and 4 down so far against Stobart this afternoon. 5-2 Oakland, top of the sixth. And now it's the catcher and Tyler Lozano. I mentioned Gates having been for the University of Tampa, Division II champs in baseball. And I was talking earlier about the College World Series and its championship round. As the pitch to Lozano, and that's fly to center field. Skinner, plenty of room out there. A few steps to his left, and the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, makes the catch quickly 2 away. Top of the sixth inning, and a 5-2 advantage for the Oakland Ballers. And now it's the second baseman, Brad Burkell. I mentioned Texas A&M won yesterday, and they have a chance to be the College World Series champions with a win today. However, in the bottom of the ninth inning, Tennessee, obviously having to win today, leads 4-1 in the bottom of the ninth. So now it's Burkell who takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike the count. So unless A&M can somehow rally, it looks like College World Series will go to a third and decisive game tomorrow. The pitch on the way, and that's taken inside ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Burkell, who has struck out swinging twice. As Jacob Stobart kicks from the set, and Burkell takes up and away ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. I think it'd be fun to have that go to a third and decisive game. The kick on the 2-1 pitch, and that's popped up foul back of the plate, strike 2. And the count remains with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, it was the all ACC, SEC College World Series this year. Yesterday it was Texas A&M beating Tennessee 9-5. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5-2 Oakland, and the pitch. Burkell swings, hits one towards second. To his right, sliding stop Banks, and from his knees throws to Gonzalez at first. And Burkell is out. 1 second baseman robs the other. And Stobart, 2 perfect innings since his arrival in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. There remains Oakland 5, YOLO 2 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. Five-2 Oakland leads YOLO as we go on to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Bobby Leday leads it off, and he hits one foul up along third, strike 1. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike. Leday, Gonzalez, and Blackford 3-4-5 to face Aaron Eden. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. 5 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Oakland. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for YOLO. Leday 0 for 2. He's popped short. He's grounded to third. Man, the pitch, and Leday takes outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned Leday 1 for his last 13 now. The game where Eden pitched here on Tuesday, Leday was 3 for 3 against him. That was a game where Lede reached base safely 6 times, not all against Eden, but was 3 for 3 against Eden, and the game was 4 for 4 with 5 runs scored. And a bunch of stolen bases, and he swings here and drives one high and deep down the left field line, and this ball is just foul. Well, Lede just missed that one. And if you're Eden, you're saying, okay, it's not a big deal, it's a strike. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Lede, that game on Tuesday, 4 for 4, 3 singles, a ground rule double, hit with a pitch twice, scored 5 times, and stole 4 bases. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Lede, a big swing and a foul to the backstop. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes with a 5-2 Oakland lead. 6th inning, bottom half. Well, Lede had a chance to sit down with Lede and Jose Gonzalez before the game. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the outer half, strike 3. Well, that's baseball. Lede, it's a ball that was long enough to be a home run, just not accurate. And next pitch, he strikes out. So, 3rd strikeout for Eden, 1 down. And here is the first baseman, Jose Gonzalez. So you had a chance to sit down with both Bobby Lede and Jose Gonzalez before the game. We'll probably have that feature up on our website and probably the next, maybe later today or possibly tomorrow. Now it's Gonzalez who takes outside, ball 1-0, and Lede and Gonzalez will talk about their friendship, which stems from growing up in Houston. The kick on the 1-0, and that's low ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. And those two have known each other for a long time, since about they were 13. The 2-0 pitch, and that is high ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. They'll talk about their connections and how they got signed by the High Wheelers, and they said about their connections growing up in the Houston area. 3 balls, no strikes, the count. 5-2 Oakland, Eden's pitch, and Gonzalez, who is 1 for 1 today, takes a strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. Gonzalez has walked, RBI single and a run scored. 3-1 the count. The windup by Eden and the pitch, and Jose swings, ground ball up the middle, and through to center, a base hit. Ball was hit to the second base side of the second base bag, and Gonzalez has himself a single. So he is now 2 for 2 this afternoon. And now here is the third baseman, Braden Blackford. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. So Gonzalez back-to-back games of at least 2 hits now. A modest 4-game hitting streak for Gonzalez. And now it's Blackford. And Aaron Eden delivers, and Blackford takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Gonzalez not a ton of speed, so I don't suspect he will be going right here, although the High Wheelers do need to start chipping in a little bit, or chipping away a little bit, as we're now in the bottom of the 6th, 5-2 Oakland. And Blackford goes around to the breaking ball in the dirt, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes, the count to Blackford. Now Eden backs off the rubber. So 0-2 the count with a 5-2 Oakland advantage. Bottom of the 6th inning. Third baseman Hubbard even with the bag and well off the line. Turn, throw to first. First, sort of a courtesy toss. Martinez there to take it. Gonzalez back with a dive. 0-2 the count with Justin Kirby wetting on deck. And the pitch on the way, and Blackford takes very high, ball 1. And the count's now at 1 ball and 2 strikes from Eden. I wonder if Eden ever pitched here at this park with maybe San Jose. I don't think San Jose State would have come up here. The pitch to Blackford, swing and a miss to the breaking ball down and in. And he is out. So that is the 4th strikeout for Eden. First time Blackford's been retired. 2 out. And now Justin Kirby digs in. Kirby comes up, and he's without an official at bat today. He's got a sac fly and also a walk. Mentioned Eden at San Jose State, his last college. Again, we mentioned he started his college career at San Diego State. But Eden was a four-year letter winner at Norco High School in Corona, California. Norco, there's also a town called Norco. Norco and Corona pretty much next door to one another along I-15. Down in the greater Riverside area. The pitch on the way to Kirby, outside ball 1-0. And right back to the plate, and Kirby takes, and that is low ball 2. So now 2 balls and no strikes with the right fielder and Tanner Smith on deck. So if Kirby can extend this inning and get to Smith, who does have some power to represent the go-ahead or the tying run. 2 balls, no strikes. Gonzalez at first, Eden delivers, and Kirby takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count moves now to 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2-1 the count. And the pitch, that's outside ball 3. So now 3 balls and 1 strike to Kirby. 3 balls, 1 strike. Eden delivers, and that's taken low outside ball 4. Ball goes to the screen, but it's just simply a walk. Gonzalez up to second, and Kirby on for the second time now, still without an official at bat. Second time he's walked. He's also at a sac fly. Well, this does get the possible tying run to the plate, and Tanner Smith. And Jim Diedrich, the pitching coach, comes out to talk to Eden. Talking about Jim Diedrich, a brief, and I mean real brief, about 6-game big league career as a pitcher with the Orioles back in the mid-1990s. And was in uniform the night that Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's all-time consecutive game streak mark when Ripken played in his 2,132nd consecutive game, early September of '95. Diedrich didn't pitch in that game, but he was certainly there in uniform, certainly was active for it. So now it's Smith. He's grounded to second, and he's fouled out to third. So a 5-2 lead. Yeah, for Oakland. The pitch to Tanner Smith is outside ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes.
After review, the pitch is a confirmed ball.
Well, the count is at 1 ball and no strikes to Smith. Kirkland Banks on deck. Runner at second, Gonzalez. Kirby at first. Smith would love to find a gap here, and the pitch, and that's breaking ball, taken for a strike on the inside corner. So the count moves down to 1 ball and 1 strike to the former Oregon Duck and Tanner Smith. So 1-1 the count. 2 on, 2 out, and Smith, the big swing and a foul to plate, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, I got to feel a little bit for Smith, who mentioned yesterday had that consecutive game streak of reaching bases in at 16. He was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Obviously, when you have a lengthy streak going, on-base streak, hitting streak going, and you only come up as a pinch hitter, don't have any other bat stuff to extend it. As Tanner swings and a squibber up on the grass, third base side, and that will be a base hit. How about that? Tanner Smith takes a big swing, dribbles the ball on the grass, probably about 60 feet. It snakes his way up, and it's an infield single for Smith. So that keeps the inning going. Gonzalez to third, Kirby to second, and Smith an infield hit. He's 1 for 3. 7th hit now for Yolo, but still 5-2 Oakland. Now the possible go-ahead run comes up. It's Kirkland Banks. And again, not sure if anybody is warming in the Oakland bullpen. We cannot see the bullpens on either side. So now a base hit to the outfield could make it a 1-run game. A gapper could tie it. And even better than a gapper could give Yolo the lead. 5-2 Oakland, bottom of the 6th inning. And Aaron Eden now will step off the rubber. So Gonzalez at third, Kirby at second, Smith at first. Kirby likely the fastest of those three. And the pitch on the way to Banks, and that's inside ball one. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. First pitch today was 95 degrees. We mentioned it was going to get hotter as we move toward 4 o'clock. It's a little after 3 now. Temperature at the moment now 99 degrees here in Davis. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. 5-2 Oakland. And the pitch. And Banks a big swing and a miss. A breaking ball there. On the outer half of the plate, strike 1. So the count moves now to 1 ball and 1 strike with the catcher Angel Mendoza on deck. Eden ready to go, the 1-1, and Banks swings, lines one, center field, base hit. Kirby will score, and Gonzalez will score. Kirby will as well. Up to second base is Smith, and Kirkland Banks, a big 2-out, 2-run single, tightens things up now. It is 5-4 in favor of Oakland. So Gonzalez precedes Kirby with the runs there. Smith goes to second base. Banks, the 2-run single. And now we're going to see a pinch hitter. And Alejandro Figueiredo, he will bat. So the RBIs for Kirkland Banks, numbers 14 and 15. And that's right, Justin Kirby scored a run on that play. So that's now a run scored for Kirby in 10 straight games for him. He's got a streak now of 10 consecutive games where he has scored at least a run. Meanwhile, that is going to be all for Aaron Eden. So Figueiredo, the announced pinch hitter, and I'd have to think Mendoza will come right back in and catch in the next inning. But Figueiredo, he will bat here, and we will see a new Oakland pitcher. So we have a pitching change, bottom of the 6th inning. Things getting interesting now. With 2 on and 2 out, it is Oakland 5 and YOLO 4. Back in a moment on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. The new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers, man who pitched yesterday, that's right-hander Jake Dahle, capital D-A-H-L-E. There's a guy who yesterday worked 2 1/3 innings. And comes back to a pitch here this afternoon. Let me correct that. He worked an inning and a third yesterday. Let me take that back. And normally you wouldn't see a guy working 2 1/3 innings and come back the next day. Dahle worked an inning and a third yesterday. And Alejandro Figueiredo digs in and he takes outside ball 1. And the count's at 1-0. Figueiredo 4 for his first 16 in a YOLO uniform. 1 home run with YOLO, but 4 home runs overall this year in the Pioneer League, because the other 3 were at Boise. So 1 ball and no strikes, the count. And the pitch on the way, and Figueiredo swings, rips one down the left field line, foul. So 1 ball and 1 strike. That likely would have given YOLO the lead. So Smith at second, he's the possible tying run. Banks, the runner at first. Both, I would say, with good speed, equal speed. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count with 2 out. 5 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the visiting Ballers. 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the hometown High Wheelers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dahle, tall right-hander from Utah, delivers. Breaking ball to Figueiredo's inside ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to count from Dolly, who is 6'5", 250 pounds, 25 years old. Jake Dolly, who we've seen about a handful of times this year. The 2-1 pitch. Figueredo takes high ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Alejandro Figueredo. So both streaks continuing for the High Wheelers this afternoon. Talk about that more in a moment. The kick in the 3-1. Grounded foul up along third. Strike 2, 3, and 2. Braylon Marine with a third inning single, extending his hitting streak to 14 games. And Justin Kirby, having scored a run in this inning, now 10 straight games for Kirby that he has scored at least a run. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runners will go automatically. Smith from second, Banks from first. They take off in the pitch. Low outside. That's ball 4. Boy, the not sure what Lozano was doing right there. And 3 and 2 and 2 outs. He threw the ball to third, and it's a good thing Dondre Hubbard was awake, because that ball gets past Hubbard. If he's paying no attention, that ball's going to go down the left field line. There was no chance the left fielder Harden was going to be over in time to pick that one up, and that likely would have scored 2 runs. I'm not sure what Lozano was doing there. Well, that loads the bases, and now for the 4th time this afternoon, Yolo will go to the top of its order. For the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, a chance to give the High Wheelers the lead, and he takes high ball 1, 1-0. So Smith to third, Banks to second, Figueredo, the runner at first. 5-4 Oakland, bottom of the 6th. Skinner is 1 for 3. And Jake Dolly's pitch, and that's popped up foul left side, 1-1. So, I have no idea why Lozano was throwing down to third, because if it's ball 4, then obviously Smith gets third base automatically. If it's strike 3, then the inning's over. So I have no idea why Lozano would have been doing that. And as I said, a good thing that Hubbard, the third baseman, was alert. The 1-1, and that's low ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. I mean, sometimes if it's strike 3, the inning's over. Sometimes you'll see the catcher just throw the ball down to third, unless Lozano thought that. But that pitch, ball 4, was nowhere close. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch on the way. And Skinner swings, and he pops it up foul third base side, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Dolly mentioned yesterday he ended up working an inning and a third. Allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, both there, no walks, a strikeout. He did give up a home run. It was Kirby who took Dolly deep yesterday. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch swung on, and that is lined into left field, a base hit. Smith will score. Banks will follow, and the Yolo High Wheelers have taken a 6-5 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Just out of the grasp of the shortstop Jefferson. The left fielder Harden got to the ball, gets it back in towards short. So a pair of 2-out, 2 RBI hits in this inning. Banks and now Skinner. So Smith scores, Banks scores, Figueredo moves up to second. Skinner now 2 for 4 today, and now it's the 9th man at bat in the inning, Braylon Marine, with runners at first and second, and he pops it up foul right side, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Skinner, RBIs 22 and 23. So no balls and 1 strike to count. 2 on, 2 out. 6-5 now Yolo, a 4-run 6th. The Marine cues 1 foul up along first, strike 2. 0-2 the count. All 4 runs in this inning charged to Eaton. So here's a guy that for the most part was cruising along today. And I know he had a long way to go, but he's on the hook for the loss in this one. And I know it's only 6-5 Yolo. And yes, it's, quote, in a one-run game, I'll use the term only the 6th inning. But Eden on the losing end of things right now. Next pitch inside, ball 1, 1-1. So runners at first and second. And the pitch to Marine outside from Dolly, ball 2, 2-1. So Dolly's come in, he's walked 1, and then he's allowed a 2-run single. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 out. Marine a single and a run scored in the 3rd inning. And the 2-2 pitch, and Braylon swings, and he dribbles this one on the ground toward third, charged by Hubbard, and his throw way off line. And good job by Martinez. He had to come off the bag and prevent that ball from getting past him. Otherwise, at least one run is in. So Figueredo goes to third, Skinner to second. Marine has his second hit this afternoon. How about this? Now, 5 straight two-out batters have reached. Remember, part of this was a two-out walk to Kirby, and then that 60-foot snake-eyed single up along the grass by Smith. Now the base is loaded for Leday, who goes around strike 1-0-1. Leday started this inning by striking out swinging. So he's the 10th man to bat in this inning. It's a 6-5 YOLO lead. Bottom half of the 6th. Leday 0 for 3 today. So Figueredo's at third, Skinner's at second. Marine at first in the 0-1, and Leday swings a ground ball foul up along third, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count. And the 2-2, the 0-2 on the way is outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So boy, the tables certainly have turned here in this inning. Of course, the yellow starter, Ben Ferrer, he's off the hook. He'll get a no decision. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, and Leday swings, and he flies one to center field. Austin Davis barely has to move for it, and the center fielder, he makes the catch. So the bad news is Leday makes 2 of the 3 outs in this inning. The good news is, for the most part, nobody else made it out in the inning, just about nobody else. And YOLO ends up with a 2-run or a 2-out rally. All 5 runs in this inning coming with 2 out. So the High Wheelers are all 4 runs in this inning coming with 2 outs. So 4 runs for YOLO on 5 hits. 4 runs, 5 hits. There were no errors. And YOLO leaves the bases loaded. Whole new game. We go to the 7th. It's now YOLO 6 and Oakland 5 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. Now moving along to the 7th inning, and now a 6-5 YOLO lead over Oakland to that 4-run 6 for the High Wheelers. So Aaron Eden today for Oakland, 5 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 6 runs all earned, walked 3, struck out 4, and he hit a batter. 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for YOLO, 5 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Oakland. So now Jacob Stobart gets the pitch with the lead for the first time today. So far, 2 perfect innings for the lefty. Top of the Oakland order for the 4th time. It's the center fielder, Austin Davis. And he shows bunt and takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. Davis is 2 for 2, a double, a single, a walk, a couple of runs scored. No balls, 1 strike the count. So... see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight 2-out batters reached for YOLO in that 6th inning. And then there was a pair of 2-run singles that totaled the 4 runs. No balls and a strike. And Stobart to the plate, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. So you had Banks and Skinner each with 2-run singles, each with 2-out 2-run singles. But it was Kirby with a 2-out walk, Smith with that infield single. There were a couple of infield singles, so a little bit of everything in that inning. I don't mean power necessarily. I mean it was just walks and singles that did the trick there. Next pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 6-5 in favor of Yolo. And the 1-2 here to Davis. Outside, ball 2 from Stobart. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So if Yolo can win this game, they will win this series. Yolo's won 3 out of the first 5 games. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch, and Davis takes high ball 3. As we enter now the back portion of the game. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Orlando product and Austin Davis. 3-2 the count. First baseman Gonzalez even with the bag, but well off the line. And the 3 ball, 2 strike pitch. Now Stobart will step off the rubber, so that's his first disengagement. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count to Austin Davis, and now Davis requests time. 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for Yolo. 5-6-0 for Oakland. So 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. And now Stobart ready to go. Kicks. Well, he will kick eventually. Now he kicks, and the pitch. Swing, and Davis swings and drives one high and deep to left field. This ball is going, and this ball is gone. Well, so much for the 6-5 lead. It is now 6-6. Davis is now a triple shy of the cycle. He is 3 for 3. A leadoff homer for Austin Davis. So 6-6 now. Oakland comes right back to tie it. 5th homer of the season for Davis. And RBI number 21. Well, as I sang a moment ago, I said, well, Aaron Eden left on the hook for the loss, but I also said we had a long way to go in this game, being that it was, at the time, only a 1-run game. Well, neither starter will get a decision now. Here is Harden. 3-run triple in the second, and he pushes a bunt off on the grass, third base side. Black for the third baseman, charges, throws, and out at first is Harden. Well, good job by the third baseman, Braden Blackford. He was expecting that bunt. And Harden is out, so 5-3 on the out there. 1 out, top of the 7th. It is 6-6. Yolo and Oakland. Home run allowed by Stobart. That's the 3rd home run he's given up this year. So now it's Jefferson who's 0 for 3. He has struck out all 3 times, and the pitch to Miles, and he pops this one up. It's going to be the second baseman Banks backpedaling in the shallow center, and he makes the catch. Jefferson now 0 for 4. So 2 out in the 7th inning, the top of the 7th. It is 6-6. Yolo and Oakland, and now Trevor Halsema bats. He is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly, so 6-6. Visitors half of the 7th inning, and Stobart, white pants up to his knees, showing the thick black socks, delivers, and that's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Halsema. Well, Tennessee did win that game today, 4-1 over Texas A&M, so there will be a 3rd and decisive game, winner take all, for the College World Series tomorrow night. As the 0-1 pitch outside on the corner, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Well, I guess I know what I'll be watching tomorrow night. Stanley Cup final tomorrow night. I'm going to think of. So you got 2 championship decisive games tomorrow, the 0-2, and that's inside 1-2. So tomorrow night, the Stanley Cup finals, a series that will not end. Eventually will tomorrow night. Nothing says hockey like Miami in late June, but it will be tomorrow night for the Stanley Cup between Edmonton and Florida, and then College World Series decisive game 3 tomorrow. So I think the folks who own ABC/ESPN are going to be very, very happy tomorrow night. They're going to have 2 championship games on their networks. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Halsema's 0 for 2 with a sac fly. 6-6, top 7. And Stobart, third base side of the rubber, kicks and delivers. And Halsema swings, slaps this one towards short. To his right, Lede gloves the ball, throws off line, and safe at first is Halsema. So that'll go as a base. So that was a tough play for Lede. He had to go far to his right, and I think that was going to be a pretty close play anyway. So Halsema will get credit for an infield single. He is 1 for 3. And now Dondre Hubbard comes up. But yeah, I guess what? Edmonton was down 3-0 in that series, and has obviously won 3 straight to keep things going. So a couple of decisive games tomorrow night. Now it's Dondre Hubbard. Game tied here at 6. Top of the 7th inning. Hubbard, who's homered earlier, takes outside for a ball. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes to Hubbard. So you got to be careful here with Dondre Hubbard, homer in the 3rd inning. Halsema, the runner at first base, being held on by Gonzalez. Halsema this year 4 steals. He's not been caught. 1 ball, no strikes. 6-6, top of the 7th. Stobart delivers, and that's up and away, ball 2. So the count's now at 2 balls and no strikes to Hubbard with his gray pants up to his knees. Stocky build, and Dondre Hubbard, 6 feet, 230 pounds. Nice feature on Dondre Hubbard, by the way. I saw that, I think it was KPIX Television did a feature. KPIX out of San Francisco did a feature on Hubbard, how it's been a big year for him. He just became a dad and still pursuing his dream of trying to get to the big leagues. 2 balls, no strikes. Halsema at first. And the pitch on the way to Hubbard, and that's grounded foul up along 3rd, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Hubbard, who is from Houston, was at Missoula last year. 29 years old, and Dondre Hubbard. But Hubbard's saying, you know, if baseball doesn't work out for me and I can't get to the big leagues, then still wants to stay in the game and be a coach. Obviously now a dad. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch. And Hubbard takes low ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Hubbard. Now Stobart really has to be careful facing Hubbard. He is ahead at 3 balls and 1 strike. Halsema on deck. And the 3-1, and Hubbard a big swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes that count to Hubbard. So with 3-2 and 2 out, Halsema ready to go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 6-6. Top of the 7th inning. Gonzalez plays back a Halsema now. Stobart steps off the rubber. Hubbard 69 games with Missoula last year. He's been in the American Association briefly, also a brief time in the Atlantic League. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Halsema goes, and Hubbard swings, protects there and fouls one off right side. Likely would have been ball 4, but swings and fouls one over right side. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Hubbard also has been in the Pacific Association, was at Sonoma on the pro level. Turn, throw to first. Remember, Gonzalez was playing behind Halsema. Gonzalez had to kind of step around the runner there and take the throw from Stobart. So Stobart is out of disengagements now, and he's going to have to come in here with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Game tied at 6 here in the top of the 7th inning. So Halsema ready to go. Stobart set. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Halsema goes, and the pitch very high outside, ball 4. And that will put runners at first and second with 2 out. And now it's Noah Martinez who comes up. How about last night? You know, talk about the speed-up rule and disengagements and all that. See how that Rocky National game ended in Denver last night? The first time ever in the history of Major League Baseball, of course the rule's only been around for a couple of years, where the game ended on a timing violation. Kyle Finnegan, the Nationals closer. Game was tied. Bottom of the ninth inning. And it was a 3-ball count with the bases loaded. And Finnegan did not pitch in time. Home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt emphatically stepped out from behind his spot, back of the plate, tapped his left wrist and said that's a timing violation. That's ball 4. Because, it's an automatic ball. Well, there were 3 balls on the, forgot the batter, but anyway, the 3 balls on the batter, and that became ball 4. It was a bases loaded situation, and that forced in the game deciding run. I mean, you talk about an embarrassing way to lose the game. Ball wasn't even put in play, and I don't mean it was because of what would be your standard, typical, whatever, bases loaded walk, but it was a timing violation. First time ever that a timing violation has ever ended a big league ball game. And apparently it's not the first time that Finnegan has been called for timing violations. Not like, it's a 2-time offender. One feature I saw was that he's done it like 8 times this year. I don't mean game-ending situations, but clock violations at one point or another. Now it's Martinez, and Noah takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Noah is 0 for 2 with a walk. Halsma the go-ahead run at second. Hubbard's at first. 6-6, Yolo and Oakland. Top of the 7th inning, and Stobart into his 3rd inning of work delivers, and Martinez dribbles 1 foul over toward the first base Yolo dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. But the Washington manager, Dave Martinez, there was no argument at all. Nobody argued the timing violation, and Dave Martinez flat out said this has been a habitual problem for Finnegan. But he seems to be late quite a bit on the timing violations, and this time it cost the Nationals. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, and Martinez swings and loops one into shallow right field, a base hit. Halsema will score. Hubbard digging for 3rd. The throw from the right fielder Smith is not in time, and seeing that as the ball got away from the 3rd baseman Blackford up to 2nd base goes Martinez, and Noah Martinez has himself a single to right and an RBI, and Oakland has grabbed a lead right back at now 7-6. So give Martinez an RBI single. Hubbard moves to 3rd, and probably an error on the right fielder because the throw wasn't very good. Blackford really couldn't get that one cleanly. So single to right, RBI, error on the right fielder Smith. So give Noah Martinez an RBI hit. So Martinez, RBI number 17. We'll recap the scoring again in just a moment. Now it's Gates. J.P. Gates bats, 7-6 Oakland. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, and Gates takes up an in-ball 1-0. Single to right for Martinez. That scores Halsema. Hubbard was going 1st to 3rd no matter what, and Tanner Smith's throw from right was in the dirt. Blackford, the 3rd baseman, really didn't have a great chance to come up with that one cleanly, and then once Martinez saw that, he moved to 2nd. So Martinez moved to 2nd on the error by the right fielder Smith. Meanwhile, Gates is going to be walked intentionally with first base open. And how about this? You'll recall that it was Yolo who scored all 4 of its runs with 2 out in the 6th. And now Oakland, even though they let off with a home run, but have now taken the lead with a 2-out hit here in the 7th. Well, that's going to be all for Stobart. And we will see a new Yolo pitcher. So we will step out. Top of the 7th inning in a seesaw game this afternoon. It's now Oakland 7 and Yolo 6. Back to tell you about the new Yolo pitcher in just a moment on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. The new Yellow pitcher is right-hander J.C. Ariza. We are in the top of the 7th inning, and Oakland has regained the lead now at 7-6. And the bases are loaded, and Ariza, who a few days ago came off the injured list, that was on Tuesday, after starting the year in the rotation, now off the injured list because of a bicep issue, now into the bullpen. So Ariza, who has one perfect inning since his return to the active list, comes on to pitch. No wins, 2 losses, an ERA of 8.53 for J.C. Ariza, 5th appearance in his second out of the bullpen. So he inherits a bases loaded situation. So J.C. Ariza comes on to, as I said, do the pitching here in the top half of the 7th inning. Ariza worked here 2 nights ago, worked here on Friday, the 21st. One perfect inning with a couple of strikeouts out of the bullpen. That's been his, until today, his only relief outing this year. So he inherits a mess, and Tyler Lozano digs in with the bases loaded and 2 outs, 7-6 Oakland. And Ariza's pitch, and Lozano swings, and he pops it up foul. Back of the plate, now to play strike 1. No balls and 1 strike against Ariza. 6'5", 235 pounds, out of Belleville, New Jersey. I'm not far from New York City for Ariza. So the runner at third is Hubbard. Martinez at second. Gates at first. Outfield medium depth and straightaway. Ballers 7, High Wheeler 6. The 0-1, and Lozano lines 1 foul left side, strike 2. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes. Lozano a double and a run scored. That was in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3 this afternoon. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. Ariza 2 and a 4-seam fastball, slider, changeup, and a curveball. For the most part, this is his first professional year. Spent 1 game with Rocky Mountain last year. Now a pinch runner for Gates. And it's going to be Ian Jenkins who will pinch run for Gates. Gates is the DH anyway, so we won't know if he'll stay into DH or not. But Jenkins will pinch run at first base. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. To Lozano. Hubbard at third, Martinez at second, Jenkins at first. And the 0-2 from J.C. Ariza. Here it is, and Lozano is hit with a pitch. And that will force in a run. So Hubbard scores, and it's now 8-6 Oakland. So Lozano hit with a pitch. Obviously, that's got to be real frustrating right there. For a reason, just about all the High Wheelers. Lozano gets credit for an RBI. That's his 6th run batted in this year. So Hubbard scores. Martinez goes to third. Jenkins to second. Lozano to first. And now it's Brad Burkell who's 0 for 3. So things unraveling here for the High Wheelers in this 7th inning. And now Burkell takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So 2 of the 3 runs in this inning have been with 2 out. 5 of the 8 runs today for Oakland have been with 2 out. So a lot of 2-out scoring on both sides this afternoon. The 0-1 pitch, and Burkell swings and misses strike 2 from Ariza. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and 2 the count. Runners lead at every base. And Ariza delivers. And that's swung on a miss, strike 3, high fastball. And Burkell strikes out swinging for the 3rd time today, now 0 for 4. But Oakland retaliates, sending 9 to the plate. That's the first strikeout for a reason. It all started on the home run by Davis, and then the RBI go-ahead hit by Martinez, and then Lozano a bases loaded hit by pitch. So 3 runs for Oakland on 3 hits, 1 error, and Oakland leaves the bases loaded. So 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 3 left. Stretch time from Yolo. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. It is 8-6. Oakland out in front over Yolo on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. When we get back, JP Gates will pitch for the Ballers. Stretch time here in Davis as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 8-6. The Oakland Ballers out in front. JP Gates, his 3rd pitching appearance of this series. And the first pitch to Jose Gonzalez is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So Gates, who had been lifted for a pinch runner, but because of the new rule, just moves, can stay in the game, and he just goes from DH to pitcher. The 1-0 pitch, and Gonzalez swings and rips this ball into right field. A base hit. That's his 3rd hit this afternoon. So Gonzalez a leadoff single. He's now 3 for 3. He's also walked. And now it's Braden Blackford. So Gonzalez, Blackford, and Kirby, 4, 5, and 6 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Hit number 11 for Yolo, but an 8-6 advantage for the Oakland Ballers. Now it's Blackford, and he pushes a bunt towards second. Fardo's right to first base of Martinez, but no chance to get Braden Blackford, who has his 3rd hit. Nice job there. He hit it into no man's land on the grass first base side. The first baseman Martinez was holding Gonzalez on at first, and then Gates did get over toward first, but by the time Martinez got Gates the ball, there was no chance to get Blackford. So the High Wheelers storming right back, 1st and 2nd now with nobody out. And that's all for Gates.
Oakland can't do this. Oakland can't do this. That's only 2 batters.
And
No one's saying anything. Billy Horton will now say something. Oakland cannot do this.
JP Gates will come out. I can overhear Tyler Peterson saying that, there is a rule. I'm overhearing the Oakland broadcaster, and I didn't even think about this, but you're supposed to face 3 batters. That is the rule. You have to face at least 3 batters before making a change, unless the inning ends or unless a pitcher leaves due to injury or illness. But I guess nobody is saying anything. So it's interesting, but Connor Richardson is the new pitcher. But yeah, that's right. Tyler brought up a good point. I forgot about this rule. You're supposed to face 3 batters before you are taken out of the game, as I said, unless you leave due to injury or illness, or if, you can get one out to end an inning, and then that's fine. But you can't do it in the middle of an inning and face only 2 batters. So Connor Richardson warming up right now. Billy Horton didn't say anything, unless somehow Billy might have, I'll be honest, would have slipped my mind unless I hadn't heard time to talk about it. I'm totally honest about that. But nobody is saying anything, or unless, I don't know if there's some sort of technicality where if both teams mutually agree to it. I'm wondering, can you mutually agree to it? So anyway, well, Connor Richardson is the new pitcher, despite only 2 batters faced by Gates. And now the pitch on the way to Justin Kirby, eyeball 1-0, and he can't say anything once that first pitch is delivered. So Connor Richardson misses inside, ball 1 ball and no strikes. Kirby is still without an official at bat today. This is his 4th time to the plate. He's 0 for 0. He has a sac fly. He's walked twice. He scored a run. And he might have another opportunity here without a plate appearance. Possible sacrifice situation. He takes inside from Richardson. 2 balls, no strikes. It is 8-6. Oakland, bottom of the 7th. So 2 balls and no strikes to count. With Gonzalez at second, Blackford at first, and Kirby goes around, pitch down and in, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Richardson, who pitched a scoreless and perfect 8th inning yesterday for the Grand Forks, North Dakota native, comes on to pitch here. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch, and Kirby shows bunt, takes inside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. So now that Gates, who had been the DH and then went in a pitch, Gates is now out of the game. And Richardson will bat in the 7th spot, so the pitcher is now in the 7th spot in the order. 3 balls, 1 strike, and Kirby drops the bunt out in front of the mound. Richardson spins around, throws to third, and they get the out. The force out there on Gonzalez, the third baseman Hubbard there to take the throw. So 1-5 on the force at third. Obviously, that's not a sacrifice bunt. So Kirby is now 0 for 1. Blackford moves to second. Kirby is retired, so just a little too much English on that ball. Back to Richardson. So it's first and second and 1 out, and now Tanner Smith comes up as the possible go-ahead run. Smith, the infield single up along third in that 4-run 6 for Yolo, and Tanner pops one up foul to the backstop, left side of the screen, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Richardson, 6'4", 239 pounds, 24 years old, out of Grand Forks, North Dakota. Well, Richardson, 3rd appearance of this series. The 0-1 to Smith, outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count, with Kirkland Banks wetting on deck. So again, Richardson, the pitcher, bats in the 7th spot. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Runners lead at first and second. 8-6 Oakland. And the pitch, and Smith takes. That's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Been a while since I've got to write the pitcher's name in the batter's column. Always enjoyed doing that. Too bad that doesn't really happen anymore. Smith 1 for 3. Runners at first and second, and the pitch. And Smith fouls one at the plate. And the count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And with Kirkland Banks wetting on deck. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Oakland. 6 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for Yolo. Smith waits, and Richardson's pitch, and Tanner takes just off the plate, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. A game that's gone back and forth this afternoon. Yolo had the briefest of leads, but Oakland coming back with 3 in the top of the 7th to regain the lead. The kick in the 2-2, and Smith swings and chops one foul up along third. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Richardson, who played his college baseball across the Red River from North Dakota, played at the University of Minnesota Crookston, Division II program for the Golden Eagles. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Richardson, long blonde hair to the back of his green cap, comes set. And the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, here it is. And Smith takes low and away, ball 3. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So good speed on the bases. You have Blackford at second, Kirby at first. So 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. And the payoff, and Smith swings and misses strike 3. Well, tried to protect right there and came up empty. Breaking ball down and away gets Smith. So Richardson has come in. He's got 2 out. Retires the first 2 batters. They say retires the first 2 batters. Kirby reached on a force play, but a runner was still retired when Richardson came in. So it's just as good as getting an out, especially the lead runner. So first strikeout for Richardson. Well, 2-out magic seemed to work last inning for the High Wheelers. It'll have to work this inning, and Banks was part of that with a 2-run single, which at the time brought the High Wheelers to within a run. And Kirkland takes high from Connor Richardson, ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Now the runner, Kirby, even though he reached against Richardson, he is actually the responsibility of Gates because Kirby reached on a force play. It's one of those complicated technical rules. As Banks requests time and backs out of the box. So 1 ball and no strikes the count. It is 8-6. Oakland, bottom of the 7th inning. Kirkland Banks is 1 for 2. 2-run single, a run scored. He's been hit with a pitch. And the pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. But yeah, interesting. Where again, Gates only faced 2 batters. You have to face at least 3, as I said, unless it's at the end of an inning or unless the pitcher leaves due to injury. That didn't appear to be the case with Gates. Certainly wasn't the end of the inning. The 1-1, and Banks a big swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Lozano. And that is strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kirkland Banks. So 1 and 2 the count with 2 out. Blackford's at second, Kirby's at first. And Connor Richardson kicks in the pitch, and Banks swings, and he pops this one up softly. Back of the second base bag. The second baseman, Raquel, now in the shallow center. And the second baseman reaches up to make the catch. And Yolo does not score here in the 7th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the 8th. It is 8-6. Oakland out in front over Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Well, on we go to the 8th inning. It is 8-6. Oakland out in front over Yolo. And a lot of talk between innings about the fact that J.P. Gates was removed after 2 batters. He did not leave due to injury. I guess you have to have the trainer literally out there to say, hey, this guy can't go anymore. Didn't leave due to illness. I don't think he left because he had a dinner date. And instead Billy and Yolo manager Billy Horton did not, as far as I know, did not pick up on it, and I don't think it's a rule that can be mutually agreed upon. If Billy Horton said it's fine, he wants to only face 2 batters, but anyway, well, I think everybody missed it, whether it be Micah Franklin, Billy Horton, the umpires, but anyway, we go on to the 8th inning, and for the 5th time this afternoon, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Austin Davis, who's a triple shy of the cycle. Again, the first pitch from J.C. Ariza's popped up foul right side, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Ballers. 6 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. And the pitch on the way, and that's taken low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Well, the count now at 1-1 to Davis, who is 3 for 3 today. Now, when Davis was up last time, Oakland was trailing, and he had a home run to tie the game, a solo homer, as he drives one foul right side, 1-2. I guess rather redundant to say solo homer leading off an inning. Most leadoff homers are solo shots. But anyway, Davis did homer to tie the game, so he's doubled, walked, singled, homered, 3 runs scored. Got 1 RBI today. 8-6 Oakland. And Ariza, glove in front of his face, nods approval from the catcher Mendoza. Out of the 3-quarter windup of the 1-1. And Davis grounds one foul up along third, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Final line on Jake Dolly today, the Oakland pitcher, 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, no strikeouts. J.P. Gates, no innings this afternoon, allowed 2 hits and all zeros after that. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, and Davis takes low 2-2. Jacob Stobart for Yolo today, 2 2/3 innings. 3 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 2, 1 of which was intentional. No strikeouts, and he allowed the 1 home run to, well, the man at the plate now in Austin Davis. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Ariza out of the windup and the pitch, and Davis keeps the at-bat going on a pop-up foul right side. So 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ariza, who went to college at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley down in Edinburgh, Texas, right along the South Texas-Mexico border, down in Hidalgo County. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Ariza kicks and the pitch, and Davis a ground ball, and that is fair on down the left field line. That's going to rattle around in the corner. Kirby, the left fielder, up with the ball and get it back in toward third. And Davis, as I said, was a triple shadow cycle, but that'll be a double for Austin Davis. He is now 4 for 4 today. It's the 5th time he's been on base safely. 10th hit for Oakland, 8-6 Oakland, top of the 8th. And now Peyton Harden will come up. So Ariza, who pitched a perfect 6th inning in his bullpen debut the other day, obviously has to keep it a 2-run deficit, and now it's Harden. Possible sacrifice situation. He's 1 for 3, a 3-run triple in the 2nd. And Harden takes high, and the ball goes over the head of the catcher Mendoza to the backstop, and the wild pitch now moves Davis to third. So that really changes, or could really change things here. Runner at third with nobody out. And now this will more than likely force Yolo to bring its infield in. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. So 8-6 Oakland, top of the 8th inning. Now the infield will come in for Harden, who is 1 for 3 this afternoon. And the pitch on the way, and Peyton Harden takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's a 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield medium depth straight away, and Harden takes, and that's up and away, ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Ariza, white pants up to his knees. kicks and the pitch, and Harden swings and a ground ball to first. Clubbed by Gonzalez. Did a pump fake to the plate in case Davis was going to come home, but still was near the first base bag and plenty of time to get Harden there. So, one out. Normally, that situation, the first baseman looks across the diamond, and he might have, but he also looked like he was coming home. Put his Jose's a left-handed thrower. Put his left hand in the air with the ball and said, "Nah, I'm not going to throw it." And no reason to. So he steps on first for the out. So that's one out. Anfield will stay in. And now it's Jefferson who bats. He is 0 for 4. 8-6 Oakland, top of the 8th, and a breaking ball from Ariza taken for a strike on the inside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count. And the pitch. And Jefferson takes, and that's inside for a ball. Now 1 ball and 1 strike to Jefferson. So Ariza needs another ground ball right at one of his infielders. Swing and a little flare to short, and that's caught by Leday. Just a jam shot. Just a very softly hit pop-up, almost like somebody was hitting a golf ball out of a sand trap right there. And Jefferson is out, so that's fine. Ariza will be happy to take that. So 2 away. And now the infield can move back. And now with Oakland up 8-6, and I mentioned that Yolo has to keep it at an 8-6 game. You got to watch this with 2 outs here. Halsema, an infield single, part of that 3-run 7th. He's 1 for 3. And Ariza deals a fastball, taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count moves now to 0-1. And Ariza delivers. And Halsema, high fastball, swinging a missed, strike 2. So the count now at no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 0-2 the count to Halsema with Andre Hubbard wetting on deck. 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the visiting Ballers. 6-12-2 for the hometown High Wheelers. And the pitch on the way from Ariza, and that's very high. Good play there by Mendoza. Like that ball might have been headed to the screen. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. 1-2 the count to Halsema. Davis at third. Again, the infield back and the pitch, and Halsema swinging a pop-up foul right side. And the count moves now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Halsema. Ariza right arm dangling down, ready to go as he comes set. First base side of the rubber. 8-6 Oakland, 2 out. Top of the 8th. Davis at third and the pitch, and Halsema swings and misses. High fastball, strike 3. Ariza does a big fist pump, and what a job by Ariza. Runner at third, nobody out, and nobody scores here in the 8th. So for the Ballers in the 8th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left. Time ticking for Yola. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 8-6. Oakland out in front over Yolo on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Oakland 8 and Yolo 6. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. And Angel Mendoza to lead it off for the High Wheelers. It'll be Mendoza. And on the top of the yellow order for the center fielder Skinner, and then Marine 8-9-1. And the first pitch from Connor Richardson is popped up foul first base side, and that'll reach the seats. Strike one. And the count moves to no balls and 1 strike. So 8-10-0 for Oakland, 6-12-2 for Yolo. Mendoza, last time he came to the plate was in the 5th inning. He did not bat in the 6th because Figueredo had drawn a pinch walk. And, of course, Mendoza stayed in the game to catch, and he takes this pitch up and in, and that hit him. Left side of the arm, just below the shoulder. So Mendoza will go down to first base. And a good start for the High Wheelers here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mendoza on base for the first time today, and now for the 5th time this afternoon. Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder in Braylon Skinner, who was 2 for 4, a couple of singles, a couple of RBIs. Third baseman Hubbard in on the grass, and Skinner takes outside for a ball 1-0. Now, last time Skinner was up, that was a 2-out, 2-run single, which gave the High Wheelers the briefest of leads. It was at the time he made it 6-5, but then Oakland came right back in the 7th to score 3 times. The 1-0 pitch, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. So Mendoza, the runner at first base, being held on by Martinez. 1 ball, 1 strike to count with nobody out. Big hole out at right center for Braylon Skinner. Turn throw to first, and Mendoza back safely standing up. And highly doubt Mendoza would be taking off here, but Mendoza is yet to attempt to steal this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch, and Skinner dribbles 1 foul toward the Yolo first base dugout. Well, the count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes from Connor Richardson. Again, he is the 4th Oakland pitcher this afternoon. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Richardson from the high set. Another turn throw to first. Mendoza back safely standing up. So the count is actually 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count is at 1-2 to Braylon Skinner. 1-2 the count. Sidestep offering, and Skinner looks outside, ball 2. And the count moves now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Richardson glances over his left shoulder, looks at Mendoza, who leads at first at 2-2, and Skinner takes low. That's ball 3. So the count moves now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. To Skinner. Kenny and I were talking about the College World Series this afternoon, and of course mentioned a lot about his experience winning that with Mississippi State 3 years ago. 3-2 the count, and the payoff. And that swung on, shot foul up along first, 3-2. Of course, Skinner here is the possible tying run. Skinner does have 3 home runs this year, and all 3 came in that series in Oakland a couple of weeks ago. That was including a 2-homer game back on June 8th. That was the 2-homer, 7 RBI game for Skinner. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count, and yes, Yolo did win that game. 3-2 the count. Mendoza from first, and Skinner goes around strike 3. Pitch around his shoe tops. More than likely was going to be ball 4. And he strikes out swinging. So that's really a big first out there for Richardson, because that really should have been ball 4. And Skinner understandably unhappy with himself. And that is the 2nd strikeout for Richardson. So 1 down. And now it's the designated hitter, Braylon Marine, who comes up. He is 2 for 4. He's the possible tying run. A couple of singles and a run scored. Again, extended his hitting streak to 14 games back in the 3rd inning. And the pitch to Marine, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. And the count is a no balls and 1 strike with an 8-6 Oakland advantage over Yolo, bottom half of the 8th inning. So Mendoza at first, still being held on by Martinez. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way, and that's slow outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, of course, Marine becomes the possible tying run. He's got 3 home runs this year, including 1 in this series. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Outfield shallow and around toward left. Big hole out in right center for Braylon Marine, and the 1-1. Big swing and a foul to the backstop, strike 2. 1-2 from Marine, who grew up a big Yankees fan. Grew up on Long Island and would frequent Yankee Stadium. So Braylon Marine, I know he's the DH today, but generally is a shortstop. What Yankee player do you think Marine really liked? The 1-2, very high 2-2. Who did he idolize? If Marine grew up a Yankee fan, and Marine is a shortstop, if you guess Greg Nettles or Wayne Tollis, well, Greg Nettles was a third baseman. If you guess the player of that era, you're wrong. I think it's safe to say that he was a big fan of Derek Jeter. Who am I thinking of? Bucky Dent. That's what I was thinking of the 1970s Yankees. So I meant Wayne Tollison played about a decade later for the Yankees. But yes, Braylon Marine did like Derek Jeter. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch from Richardson swinging a foul to the backstop. 2-2. Braylon Marine told me that really the guys he liked watching were the Yankee double play combination, because Marine can play second and short. So it was the Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano double play combination. Really liked watching Robinson Cano play. But yeah, I said, who's your favorite Yankee? He said, I got to go with Jeter. But I really like Robinson Cano too. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 1 out. And the pitch, and Marine swings and misses strike 3. Fastball in the outer half of the plate, and he is out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Richardson, who now has 3 punch-outs this afternoon. And now it's Leday. Now he's got some power with 6 home runs. He bats. Leday 0 for 4 this afternoon. So, Leday, who coming into this series, or at least a portion of the series, had been hitting over 400, but just, how it works, baseball's going to catch up with you. As Leday takes a strike on the inside corner on 1. He had been hitting, I think it was going into, I want to say maybe the second game of the series, was hitting at 404. But since then, or right around since then, 1 for his last 15, the 0-1. And that's in the dirt, and the ball gets away from the catcher Lozano, and on the wild pitch, Mendoza moves up to second base. So, on the wild pitch, the runner Mendoza moves up to second. So the pitch was in the dirt, and then Mendoza moved up to second after that. So 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Leday swings, and he flies one towards center, but to his left, Austin Davis, and he'll be there to make the catch. And that retires Leday. No runs, no hits, no errors. A man left. We go to the 9th, 8-6. Oakland leads Yellow on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. We go to the top of the ninth inning. 8-6, Oakland leads Yolo. And the new Yolo pitcher is right-hander Connor Langrell. He is 1-0, 12th appearance all out of the bullpen. His ERA is at 1.1. Final line on J.C. Ariza of Yolo. Inning and a third, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and a hit batter. Andre Hubbard leads it off. It'll be batters 5, 6, and 7. Hubbard, Martinez, and in the pitcher's spot to face Langrell. So Hubbard, part of the fun today, a home run, a walk, an RBI, and a couple of runs scored. As Langrell from the high set delivers, and Hubbard takes a high fastball, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes from Langrell, 22 years old, 6'4", 230 pounds, from Riverview, Florida. It's in the Tampa area. As he kicks and delivers, and Hubbard shows one and takes a strike on the inner half. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 8-6 is the score, with Oakland leading it. Yolo led ever so briefly. Yolo led 6-5 after 6 innings, but Oakland came back and scored 3 times in the 7th. Hubbard was part of that, with drawing a walk and then scoring on the bases loaded hit by pitch to Lozano. How big does that look, that bases loaded hit by pitch? That was with 2 out. And that made it an 8-6 score. The 2-1 here, big swing and a foul to the backstop, strike 2 from Langrell. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dondre Hubbard. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Hubbard, with 5 home runs this year against Yolo, when you include what he did in the 3rd inning today. The 2-2, and that misses up at in ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hubbard. So 5 of his 7 home runs this year for Hubbard have come against the High Wheelers. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, and Hubbard swings, and he pops this one up back of first, the foul ground. Gonzalez chasing after it, stays with it, and up against the navy blue padding, makes the catch. Nice play there by Jose Gonzalez. He had to stay with that one. A little bit of a breeze today. Of course, you got the high sky and the sun, but Hubbard is out on the foul pop-up. Good play there by Jose Gonzalez. So 1 out. And now it's Martinez who bats, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's a no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count. 8-6 in favor of Oakland, and Langrell deals a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Martinez, an RBI single to right in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 3. And an 8-6 advantage for Oakland in the pitch. And Martinez goes around, strike 3. Curve gets him down and in. And he is down on strikes, and that is quickly the 2nd out here on the top of the 9th inning. And now the pitcher spot is due up, but I believe we're going to see a pinch hitter for Richardson. It's going to be Jalen Smith. So Smith to pinch hit for the pitcher. For Jalen Smith this year, 256. He has 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. And the first pitch of Jalen Smith is taken outside, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. So Smith, who swings here, a ground ball to third, gloved cleanly by Blackford. Throws across, good pick at first by Gonzalez. Not a great throw, but Gonzalez picks it out, and Smith is out. 1, 2, 3 go the Ballers in the 9th against Langrell. Last chance for Yolo. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Oakland will have a new pitcher when we get back with the score. Oakland 8 and Yolo 6 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. Last chance for Yolo as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. It is 8-6 in favor of the Oakland Ballers, and Chandler David, who saved yesterday's game, will try and do the same thing here this afternoon. Final line on Connor Richardson for Oakland: 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, and a hit batter. So that completes his line. 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, and 1 hit by pitch. So Chandler David on, as I said, to try and close it. 6'1", 205 pounds, born October 3rd in 2000, making him 23 years old, and in his first pro experience, which is this week, delivers a pitch to Jose Gonzalez, who fouls it off right side. No balls and a strike. Gonzalez, Blackford, Kirby, 4-5-6. Jose 3 for 3 today with a walk, and he takes outside ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gonzalez struck out against David yesterday, struck out looking against him, the 1-1. Swing and a tapper right out in front of the mound. Off the hill to grab the ball, David. Easy toss over to the first baseman, Martinez. And Gonzalez is out for the first time today, now 3 for 4, 1 out. Bottom half of inning number 9. It's 8-6 in favor of Oakland. And now it's Braden Blackford who bats. Mentioned David just signed by the Ballers out of Sam Houston State University. Now the pitch on the way to Blackford, and that's high ball 1, 1-0. Meanwhile, apparently Oakland challenged that pitch, and it was overturned to a strike. So the count to Blackford instead of 1-0. It's 0-1. Blackford is 3 for 4. 3 singles for Blackford. Blackford struck out swinging against David yesterday, and he takes low outside ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Blackford, 2 out of his last 3 games have been 3-hit contests. Remember, the other day had a grand slam. Overall had 3 hits in that one on Friday. 1-1 on the way, and that's outside ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Blackford has to get on and then at least allow the tying run to come up. By the way, Chandler David, I think I mentioned this, I'll mention again, he will bat in the 7th spot, the 2-1 inside 3-1. No way that he can bat today. This will be the last inning of any sort of, quote-unquote game action. If Yolo ties it, then we go to the knockout round. Blackford, though, flies this one towards center. To his right, Davis, and the center fielder, Austin Davis, will be there to make the catch. Blackford is out, 2 down. So, for example, Yolo knows that the bullpen knows that it's done for the day. Even if Yolo ties this game and we finish tied after 9, we go to the knockout round, that nobody else today will pitch for Yolo, so a lot of the relievers just come back into the first base dugout. Now, Yolo is down to its last out for the left fielder, Justin Kirby, who did extend his run scored streak to 10 games. When Yolo scored 4 times in the 6th, he scored on the 2-run single by Kirkland Banks. As the pitch to Kirby is it's called a strike. He's going to challenge that. And the pitch has been confirmed a strike, so no balls and a strike. And tomorrow the team is off, and then I will do the games remotely. The team will be in Idaho Falls coming up on Tuesday. We'll have him on YouTube Live for you as the 0-1 pitch goes to the backstop. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So started at about 6:05 on 6:05 Pacific time Tuesday from Idaho Falls. 1-1. Change up from David. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2 the count, and now Yolo is down to his last strike. Cameron Rapetti will get the start for Yolo in the Idaho Falls due to future or upcoming player moves. Undecided. The windup in the 1-2, low to Kirby, ball 2. And the count's now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Kirby can keep it going. Tanner Smith's got some power. He waits on deck. The 2-2 swung on by Kirby, and he pops it up. This should do it. Shortstop Jefferson in shallow left field is there, and he makes the catch. And the ball game is over. And the Oakland Ballers win this one by a score of 8-6 as Kirby pops to short, and Chandler David back-to-back days with perfect innings en route to the save. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Final score this afternoon, it was Oakland 8 and YOLO 6 as these two teams split this series 3-3. I will be back with the final totals in just a moment. Final score here this afternoon, it was the Oakland Ballers 8 and the YOLO High Wheelers 6. Here are the final totals. First for the victorious Oakland Ballers, who are now 17-13. 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 8 left for the YOLO High Wheelers, who dropped now to 14-13. 6 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, and 9 left. Oakland's record is 17-13. So for the Oakland Ballers, who are now 17-13, 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 8 left. And for the YOLO High Wheelers, who go to 14-13, 6 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, and 9 stranded. Jake Dolly is the winning pitcher for Oakland. He is now 2-1. Chandler David, second straight game for him with a save, his second. And Jacob Stobart, the loss for YOLO, and he falls to 4-1. Time of today's game, 3 hours and 15 minutes. And again, by company rule, we have to announce the attendance as 0. So YOLO had a chance to win this series today, and they sent to the mound the right-hander Ben Ferrer. Oakland sent to the hill for the second time in the series in a starting role. Right-hander Aaron Eden, so a couple of righties going at it. Oakland got on the board with a first-inning run, and then opened things up more in the second inning, courtesy of a 2-out, 3-run triple by left fielder Peyton Harden. And that made it just like that, 4-0 in favor of Oakland. YOLO would eventually go to the 6th inning. That's generally the case in baseball. And Oakland led at that time by a 5-2 count. But YOLO got things going with a 1-out single. This was against Aaron Eden. Jose Gonzalez, the first baseman, single to center. Then 2 batters later with 2 out, left fielder Justin Kirby walked. Right fielder Tanner Smith then hit a little dribbler up on the grass third base side that went as an infield single. So that loaded the bases, and then second baseman Kirkland Banks ripped a single to center, scoring Gonzalez and Kirby. So that at the time made it 5-4 in favor of Oakland. That was all for Eden, and then it was Jake Dolly who came into the game. He walked pinch hitter Alejandro Figueiredo. Then it was the top of the YOLO order for the 4th time, and with the bases loaded. So with Smith at third, Banks at second, and Figueiredo at first, it was the center fielder at the top of the order for the 4th time, Braylon Skinner, and he singled to center. It was a 2-run single, and that made it 6-5 YOLO. Braylon Marine would follow with an infield single. So YOLO had 6 straight batters reach with 2 out, and eventually would take a 6-5 lead, but it was the shortest of leads. Jacob Stobart, who had been pitching very well in relief of Ben Ferrer today after Ferrer went 4 innings and struck out 6. Stobart, 2 perfect innings, but then in his 3rd inning of relief, the very first batter for Oakland It was the top of the Ballers order, center fielder Austin Davis, and he homered to left, and immediately that tied the game at 6. And then eventually Oakland would take the lead, sending 9 to the plate in the 7th. An RBI two-out hit by Noah Martinez untied the game, made it 7-6, and then Lozano, the catcher Tyler Lozano, was hit with a bases-loaded pitch, and that made it at the time 8-6 in favor of the Oakland Ballers. And Yolo, despite getting a few runners on after that, just could not do anything. They had a good chance in the 7th, first and second, nobody out, but couldn't do anything with it. They had a runner, a leadoff man on in the 8th, couldn't do anything with it when the catcher Angel Mendoza was hit with a pitch to start the inning, but couldn't do anything from there, and Oakland ends up winning 8-6, thus salvaging the series as a split 3-3. Oakland right now leads the season series 7-5. Aaron Eden for Oakland, 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs all earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a hit batter. Jake Dawley, not exactly the best pitching performance, but he was the pitcher of record when Oakland took the lead, and he gets the win, a third of an inning, 2 hits, 1 walk. J.P. Gates, 2 hits allowed, no innings. That was his line. Connor Richardson, really an unsung hero, 2 perfect innings today, the 7th and the 8th. Actually, they weren't perfect innings, but 2 shutout and hitless innings without a walk. Struck out 3 and hit a batter. That completed his line. And Chandler David, 1 perfect inning in the 9th to accomplish his 2nd save professionally in back-to-back games. The yellow starter, Ben Ferreira, no decision, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs all earned. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, allowed a home run. Jacob Stobart in the loss, his first of the year, 2 2/3 innings. 3 hits, 3 runs all earned, 2 walks, 1 intentional. No strikeouts and a home run. J.C. Ariza, 1 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, a wild pitch and hit batter. And Connor Langrell, the 9th, a perfect 9th, 1 inning and 1 strikeout. Dolly, the winner for Oakland, 2-1. David, his 2nd baller save, and Stobart, the Yolo High-Wheeler loss, 4-1. 3 hours and 15 minutes this game took, so 1 minute better than yesterday. And again, by company rule, we do not announce an attendance. Final score today, Oakland 8, Yolo 6. Yolo has tomorrow off, and I will be doing the games remotely. Yolo will be up in Idaho Falls, so you can catch us on YouTube Live. Be sure to listen on YouTube Live. We'll usually send out the link about an hour beforehand on Twitter and various social medias, Facebook and such, email. Yolo will have right-hander Cameron Rapetti at 2-1 and a 3.25 ERA, and Idaho Falls is undecided on its rotation. Coming up, 1st to 6 at Idaho Falls against the Chuckers, and all games will be with a first pitch at 6:05 Pacific time, and we look forward to having you join us on YouTube Live. Great job by everybody at Flow Sports and YouTube Live, and our producer Michael Sapel. Great job as always. Final score today, Oakland 8 and Yolo 6. Doug Greenwald saying good afternoon from Dobbins Stadium.